Yo. We're running late. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Spilo. Da-na-na-na-na.
I'm your host for today. Spilo, tell us about your childhood.
It was dark, dense, and crazy.
No, not talk about yourself.
Shut up. Track.
Oh, Aubrey gave me a cookie.
Nice.
It didn't really taste like a cookie though. It was very dry.
I love that you're the one talking about somebody not tasting like a cookie.
Yeah, but you have to admit, even my cookies, like the ones that are dry, at least admit they're not great.
Okay, true. Aubrey just saying, hey guys, good afternoon. We are running wee behind. Wee behind. I don't know what happened on the patch notes, but I see something that looks like an April Fool's joke. So I'm gonna save my reaction for when I can actually give it appropriate attention. I'm a little concerned. I don't know what they've been smoking at the old Blizzard Club. We will see though. I'm slowly watching myself turn into a Samito. Okay. Well, let's get our coaching session started, y'all. Yo, never mind. Hey y'all, hey Prime. Heyo, Dragonfly, Dry Eyes, good afternoon. Akami, Varashi, hello. Right when a workout starts, good time. Nothing like pain in your ears and pain in your body. Hey, Mrs. X47. You yell louder than Smito, less angry though. Yeah, some of the Smito stuff is pretty funny. Okay, let's do this. Nobody saved it. You guys ready for the sneak preview of the rap today? Wait, wrong one. We'll link VOD later. Ready? Rap preview is gonna be so banger today. You guys don't even know. Cast nerf, let's go. All right, don't leak. I'll have to take a look at what all this foolishness is gonna be. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on the patch. Are patch notes out? They are out. So we'll have to wait and see. Flying Ryan is here to stay? No way. Hope you feel better soon, Smile. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little sick, y'all. This past Tuesday was rough. I had a call stream early and all that stuff. I was like feeling like really. I did not sleep well. I was like super gassed. No Genji buffs. Yeah. How's the tiredness? I mean, it's been all right. I haven't been sleeping as well recently, but recently it's been because I'm sick. It's all right. We're just waiting on our student here. Okay, let's go. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Apologize for the delay. One of my sessions ran really over, but how are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good. I appreciate your patience. Let's get your form pulled up here. So, Hero Pool looks juicy. I'm excited for this one. What got you interested in coaching?
Really, it's like hitting like a high rank in a video game like Grandmaster has always been one of my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always struggled on that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I've tried just trying to get good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been way too long, just trying to get good.
Sure.
I mean, I've actually climbed this season pretty decently.
Yeah. It says this is the form you were Diamond 3. Is that where you are now?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I dropped.
Where are you at?
I'm at Plat 1 currently.
Interesting. You're still significantly above average. I think you're top like what, 35%, 30, something like that. So you're still
I peaked
decent.
Masters 3 this season.
Oh no.
It's like a yeah.
Yeah. What do you think happened?
Well, I got a job and I had less time to play the game, so I'd probably just come home tired, not ready for it.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it happens, right? Like real life responsibilities, and part of the challenge is like being able to find the balance between meeting those and still being able to like actually do things that you want to enjoy without being gassed. Trust me, I hear you on that one. Okay, so break me down your Overwatch past. How long you've been playing the game? What heroes have you mained? What do you think of Overwatch 2? All that kind of stuff.
Started playing since 2016. Used to be a console player back then. I really enjoyed the game, even though I mean I was still getting good at it. I remember my first play of the game. I took a look at that. It was terrible, but it's funny to see how far I've gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a break off this game, played Valorant for a bit, and then came back.
What made you take a break? And how long was the break?
Valorant. Oh,
Just wanted to try playing it for fun, or you just got tired of Overwatch, or what?
yeah, I did.
What do you think?
I
What burned you out?
What burned me out? Ooh, I can't really remember, man. Probably just too much Overwatch, and like none of my friends played it except me.
Tough.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so what brought you back, and when did you come back?
Well, all the hype around Overwatch 2 and the PvE.
Oh no, you got baited.
I did.
No,
now I'm addicted, man.
That sucks. All right. So your hero pool here: Junkrat, Symmetra, Reaper, May, Echo. What has your past been like through cycling through and picking and playing different heroes? Because like I started off as like Genji, OTP. I loved Genji. I wanted to play the game because of Genji. Then I transitioned into main tank, and then I picked up flex support, and I've pretty much stayed flex support for the most part since then. But what's your path been like?
Well, when I started console, I really was a tank main. Like I mained every tank that I could play, and then once I swapped to PC, I think it's mainly started off Widow, and then started lobbing bombs at people with Junkrat, and just trying a lot of stuff. Really, I try to main every hero, but you know, eventually I just lost interest in maining everyone.
Well, it's hard to, right? You can't do everything all at once. Okay. So then through Overwatch 2, where are you at right now in terms of hero pool?
Right now, I prefer not to play hit scan a lot. That's why most of my heroes, they're not aim intensive, but I still have a lot of fun with them.
Do you enjoy playing hit scan, or is it just I don't have good aim, so I want to avoid it?
Sort of both of them. I mean, I've tried getting good at aim labs. I think my highest score is like 60k. So I mean, I just regularly don't prefer playing hit scan, just standing in the back and clicking. I'd rather be just in front of their face and going crazy.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So that is the forum says Junk Sim, Reaper, May, Echo. Is that still kind of where you're at right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a percentage of like I'm more Junkrat, more Symmetra, or you kind of play them all evenly?
It used to be only Junk, but then I just started playing other heroes.
Okay. What are some of your favorites?
Right now, I'm really maining Echo. And I heard Junkrat's gonna get buffed, so I might just find some cringe spots for him or something.
Sure. Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. Long-term and short-term goals in Overwatch. Your forum says my long-term goal is to improve my strategy with my team, whether in competitive or in scrim. Oh, are you with the team? Are you scrimmaging?
No. In case if I ever do, cause yeah, you know.
Yeah,
scrims are fun.
Fair enough. Have you ever been with the team before?
I have.
How long did that last?
How long that lasts? Not even sure. Maybe 3 months.
It's pretty long. What happened?
What happened?
People split up, going different directions, or what?
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, that's when I was gonna quit. Mainly because I wanted to play Valorant, and like all of my other friends were hyping me up. So I kind of just let someone else on the team take an opportunity.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Well, maybe that's something that you could like, if that's something that you want to get back into. I mean, you definitely have a stranger hero pool, but there's a lot of teams that could probably pull that off. So maybe that's something worth like looking into. I'm sure there's plenty of teams at diamond rank that you could probably find a spot on. So just something to kind of consider. If you enjoy it, do it. Do what you enjoy. Long-term goal is to improve my strategy. Short-term is to understand exactly when and what the solution will be towards winning a team fight. What to do to win or to struggle less in competitive. What are some of your struggles in competitive right now?
Some of my struggles is just struggling sometimes the play as my team is playing. Maybe let's say actually so my team's pushing up and I might be off position sometimes,
Yeah.
or it might just not be working as well as I could with my, let's say Reinhardt's playing aggressive and I could be playing less aggressive,
Yeah.
not taking that opportunity.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. I am kind of curious though. So before we get into your training structure here, you said recently you dropped a lot. Why do you think
Yeah.
that is? Let's talk about, because that's pretty important. That happens to a lot of people. So what do you think is the issue in your case? Because you might have gotten a little bit lucky that pushed you up to a higher rank, and then maybe right now you're a little bit unlucky.
Yeah,
But I
if
assume,
I'm gonna be honest, I think Masters, yeah, it really felt like as I kept playing more into Masters, it's like people with more insane aim, and I found myself dying a lot more often, which means that I'm making a mistake that's not working.
right,
So
right,
so really, I think I probably just peaked diamonds. You can
okay,
really put it like that.
right, and then now maybe you're just a little bit unlucky where you're in plat. That being
Oh
said,
yeah,
like let's say you're a diamond 1 player or diamond 2 player or diamond 3 player, dropping into
hmm
plat, even if it's like what, plat 1 you said?
yeah, plat one.
Not great. What do you think else? There probably was another factor in there as well. Any guesses as to what that might be?
Not playing at my 100%.
Okay. Okay. You were talking about like coming home tired from work or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly that. Just sometimes just playing bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why bad? The
Uh,
fatigue for sure, but is there anything else?
starts off trying to get just trying regular games, first game on. You try playing for team, no team chat.
Yeah.
Try to work with the tank. It might have worked, it might have not worked. Can't really tell. And then I just like slowly it just starts declining, like worse and worse.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I actually play good and I don't. It's inconsistent.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Well, we'll take a look then. So, with your training schedule right now, including the fact that you're working and busy with all that kind of stuff, how much are you playing average per week, per day, and so on?
Well, I don't really track that.
Do you have an idea? You don't have to track that, like, because you don't necessarily need a schedule to play Overwatch, but on average, about how much are you playing? When you log on, what are you playing for?
Usually when I log on, I play for like 4 hours at
Okay.
most.
Okay. Okay. Is that like a daily thing or a couple times a week, or how often does that happen?
Uh, let's say around 4 times a week.
Okay, so 4 times 4 usually around in terms of
Yeah.
playtime. Okay, that's good. We can work with that. Optimally, we would have a little bit less time, but on more days, so that you're able to get more practice time on other days, and then also 4 hours is a bit of a longer time. I'm sure by the end of those 4 hours, you're probably pretty tired, so the practice value isn't as high, but it's doable, right? It's doable. Do you have days where you were really, really tired during those 4 hour blocks?
No, because usually on my 4 hour blocks, I actually do get decent amount of rest.
Good, good, good. Okay, sounds good. So those are not the days where you come home tired from work then, necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so maybe not optimal in terms of like how the spread is, like only 4 days a week instead of 5 or 6, but you're getting a decent number of hours, and at least it's at least spread out over at least 4 days per week. That's pretty good. Okay, you have any questions so far?
Mm, no, not really.
Okay. Now, in your form, you said a lot of the flex DPS projectile heroes, but now you're saying I'm playing a little bit more Echo recently and maybe looking forward to some Junkrat. So, on average, how many heroes are you playing on like on an average? Let's say you log in 4 hours, you play for 4 hours. what heroes are you playing during those sessions usually? How many different heroes are you playing?
Mm, around 5.
Okay, 5. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. Um, Especially given the fact that if you like compare like a Mei to an Echo to a Junkrat to a Reaper to a Symmetra, you're picking a lot of very unique and dynamic heroes with a lot of different kits, a lot of different aim styles, right?
Mm,
So be careful, because obviously if that's what you enjoy about the game is trying all the different heroes, that's great, but it does mean that it's going to be a little bit harder for you to master them to the level to where you might be able to climb to a higher rank than where you're at right now. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to get really good at Symmetra, you need to put extra hours in Symmetra. To get really good at Junkrat and so on, right? Even just the aiming alone will be harder. So what I would recommend for you is to keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind and then decide, okay, do I want to do anything with that? Am I really happy with how many heroes I'm playing right now? Or would I prefer to rank up a little bit more? In which case, you don't need to only play one hero, but maybe you play 4 instead of 5, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you play 3. Maybe there's a hero that you don't actually like playing that much, or like is not very good in the meta right now. So like let's say Reaper or Junkrat or Echo or whatever, and then you focus on the other heroes instead. And then that hero gets strong again. I want to play that hero. That hero looks fun. Then I drop another hero and I focus on that one. So that's what I would call a dynamic hero pool, where you're not only playing one hero for the rest of Overwatch 2 history, but you change maybe month to month, every 3 or 4 weeks, you reevaluate. But during those weeks, during those months, you're focusing on a specific set of heroes. And you're playing 4 hours 4 times a week. That's for optimal improvement. You'd be playing like 2 or 3 heroes. But 4 heroes is still better than 5, right? And so how much you want to focus on that versus what you're doing for fun. I'm not going to say you have to play this way, because ultimately you want to play for fun, right? But if you want to get a little bit better, if you want to get your improvement as well, just keep that in mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's a hero that's important to you today that we're looking at in coaching?
Um, I'd say
Or
Echo.
heroes? Echo? Okay. That's good.
Echo and May.
So Echo and May maybe are your priorities, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Last question for me. Sleep looks good, by the way. Nice work. Well, actually, looking at more of the form, I missed one question here. What do you hope to get out of the session? I hope I'm able to become more wise with my in-game pathing and positioning while executing the right play that will help my team. Perfect. And then the last question, finally. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? And you say, the thing that I think is holding me back is my aim. We'll start right there. What about your aim?
It's very inconsistent.
Okay. In what ways? Describe it to me.
One match I could be playing May, I just be hitting snipes, and then on the next one, do the same thing, but I'm just missing less. I mean, I'm missing more.
Any guess as to why that is?
Uh, could possibly be that the enemy is playing a different team comp, playing different way, the map.
Yeah, they could be moving differently too. Like you think about a higher ranked player, better movement
Yeah.
means your aim feels worse, even though your aim might be exactly the same. Here's another thing too. If you have a bigger hero pool, or maybe a day where you're getting enough sleep, or a day where you played the day before and now you're playing today, or it's been a couple days since you've played, that might affect your aim as well. Like aim is such a precise micro thing that lots of little things can throw it off a little bit. And the problem is that everybody's inconsistent. Even the best players in the world are inconsistent. So it's about reducing some of those inconsistency factors, like narrowing your hero pool a little bit, making sure that you're always getting plenty of sleep, playing as many days as you can, having a good mentality about it, and also just understanding that you're going to be inconsistent. You know, just accept that.
Yeah.
And then don't worry about it and focus on your play outside of that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, it's still frustrating, but don't worry about it. Everybody has off days and on days. Okay. Understanding of the fight as it is happening, allowing me to execute the right play. That's something that you feel is holding you back. Elaborate on that a little bit.
So let's say sometimes I try to make play calls whenever whenever I'm playing with my teams. Well, with the team and comp, and then I try to pull something off, and it just doesn't go my way, or like a team sometimes have something else planned in mind,
Right.
and then sometimes when I die while I'm in a mid team fight, I'm just thinking about what was the best play right there I could have done,
Sure.
maybe to stay alive for longer.
Sure. I mean, that's the right mindset, right? That's a good mindset. Maybe this review can answer some of those questions, but I'm pleased to hear that that's what you're thinking about in the moment, right? It's trying to think of like, what should I be doing? How can I be doing? Because you learn that way, right? So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other questions before we hop into the gameplay?
I can't really think of much.
Okay. No
Nah,
worries. No
no
worries.
questions.
All right. Sounds good. Do you have a replay code or replay codes? We can look it up. Whatever
Oh,
you'd like.
replay codes. I should have had those prepared.
That's all right. Take your time. I'm getting my
Mm,
UI set up here anyway, so I'll need a second. Chat. We'll look at we remember the title Twitch. we'll look at it. In like
does it have to
4:15.
be? Does it matter if it's a victory or defeat?
Nope. Anything where you just where you weren't sure what to do, or there was you had some questions, or you were like, oh, I think it'd be helpful for me to figure out what I needed to be doing better here. Throw it my way.
Okay. Well, actually, this recent one from Blizzard Worlds.
Sick. Okay. What hero or heroes is this?
I think I'm playing Echo May.
Echo May. Nice. I was playing like a one-trick kind of a series, like a month, 2 months ago, even like 3 months ago. I would play like one hero for like, I don't know, like a week, to try and learn how to play it, how to coach it better. Because there was a few heroes in Overwatch 2 that I was like, not really sure how they mesh, So I was doing like a lot of Orisa when she first came out, and then May. And oh my days, May is fun. I don't have many hours in her, but she was really fun. Okay, so this is start Sim, and then I assume you go May. Do you want to start with the May then?
Sure.
Okay, let's take a look. So, what is May good at? What are your strengths here? Let me get the stream started here. What are May's strengths?
Strength right there. She can be really annoying. Get up in there, and then able to just get out whenever she wants.
She's a close range hero, right?
Yeah.
But she also has a pretty nice snipe weapon too, right? So there's a little bit of nuance here. Like you look at their composition, and I'm like, well, I can snipe Widowmaker, but it'd be better if I got to snipe her a little bit closer up, right? And then even far, right? It's easier to hit shots when she's closer. But then I look at like a Zarya, and I'm like, well, I can brawl and push a Zarya, but also I want to make sure that she doesn't have like double bubble, focus me down, force my ice block kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance with May. So okay, let's take a look. So, what does this wall do?
Forces Zarya's bubbles to be out for his enemy cooldowns.
Why?
He doesn't use it, then she's gonna die to our team.
What does the wall do? Like just think about it philosophically. Like what do you see here?
Walled off Zarya.
Right, you walled off Zarya, and who's on the other side of the wall?
Kiriko.
Fair. And who else is right? So we have two members of the enemy team who are not involved, and then let's see how long they're not involved. Let's start from when the wall actually pops off. So right here. So 3:17 at the top of our screen, 3:16, 3:15, and now the wall breaks. So you have like 2 seconds where two members of the enemy team are not involved, right? That's what wall does, right? Is you take members of the enemy team and you just completely remove them from the battlefield for a period of time, all right? And you also control the enemy tank, whoever's walling off, you control their position where they're not allowed to move as much as they'd like to. Now, you look at this and you go, well, that's a good wall, right? Why does this Zarya not take more damage? Surely she should take more damage than that, right? Any guesses why?
That's because my team was like all the way back, had no one to
Right.
capitalize on that wall.
Right. So you stopped 2 members of the enemy team from following up. But the problem was 2 members of your team weren't there to follow up off of the wall.
Yep.
And then if you think about it from like Mei's perspective, like in Overwatch 2, tanks are scary. Right? Tanks are really, really, really scary. So for you, it's like you can punish tanks really, really easily. However, you don't necessarily want to get in front of Azaria's face, especially now that you can't actually free somebody. You're slow and DPS is good, but I would maybe be this aggressive on Azaria when? When would you be this aggressive on Azaria?
Whenever Zari's being more aggressive, she's like, my Ryan's here. I'm playing with my Ryan.
Sure. So help from your team. How about if the Zarya had no bubbles?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wall him off.
Right. Now it's like the Zarya has no bubbles, so she also, when she has no bubbles, she also is not likely to build very high charge because she's not getting charge actively. So then, even though my Ryan isn't here, if I can guarantee that at least some members of the enemy team aren't here, maybe this isn't so bad. But she had bubbles, and obviously you've got people in spawn, and so that's going to force your ice block. Now, what's the deal with ice block? Now, you guys get the kill, so nice wall. But what's the deal? Why is ice block so important? Why was this potentially so dangerous? What does ice block mean?
I have no cooldowns right there.
Okay, so what does that mean for you right now?
I'm super vulnerable. My
Right.
Ryan's in my back line.
Right. The ice block is your get out of jail free card. Once the get out of jail free card is gone, you can go to jail. You can go to spawn. So how should you play right now? Usually.
I start backing right now.
Right. You need to play very, very cautious. Very, very cautious. Now you're thinking like, oh, can I touch? Can I touch? Can I touch? Maybe. Aha. Didn't get her pin in time. Now, what else can you do with a wall? Remember the whole purpose, this is why I was asking you the wall and Zarya thing, because it's about understanding what the wall does so that you can also think of different ways to use it, right? So for example, if we're thinking about walling off and removing members of the enemy team, how do you use wall now?
What I can do is I can get position up. I can separate wall off that Widow in the back line.
You can wall off the Widow in the back line, yeah. So you can either enable yourself to a more aggressive position. You can wall off the Widowmaker. Those are the big ones, right? You could, I guess, wall off the Kiriko to prevent her from running away, but probably walling off the Widow or walling yourself up make the most sense. What do you think is the best out of those two?
Walling off that Widow.
Yeah. Now you're going to notice something, and you have, I'm sure, already noticed this with as many hours as you have on Mei, is that in Overwatch 2, just wall off tank and focus tank is just not as good anymore. The wall is squishier. There's one fewer tank. Fights are more dynamic and spread out. So you have to be a lot more creative with how you use your wall, even if it's just wall off somebody's LOS for a few seconds or to wall yourself up in the high ground, like you were saying. So this kind of situation right here, obviously you were shooting far. She's low. It's tough, right? But you got to be quick with the wall. And then even, okay, shoot, I messed up. Bang. You see?
Yep.
Even just a second late, big ramifications. Now you're going to lose this here, so maybe we get a kill. Good try. Okay, next one. But like I look at that comp, like here's the other thing about Mei as well. Okay, so you think about Mei and like, okay, do I want to be playing with my tank all the time? So that's a good question for you. Do I want to be playing with my tank right now? What could you do with your tank?
Okay. Looks like the tank is pretty far up.
Yeah.
So I might just need to be playing with them.
Right. Would this wall help you kill Ryan?
The enemy Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hesitating. You're hesitating. Why are you hesitating? Because I agree with your hesitation.
Because there's like Kiriko right there. I mean, it's not a very open space. I can kind of just climb over it.
Yeah. It's a pretty open space for Ryan to work around it. And then the other thing too is with walls, it's like how many people are you walling if you wall the Reinhardt here?
Really just one,
One, and not even one, like a half of one, because she's just gonna go right over
and
it.
their teammates on the height too.
Right, and I mean, look around it. Look at the widow. Look at the angles that she's taking. Look at the pharmacy. Look at the angle that she's taking. They don't care about your wall. They laugh at you, right? So what do you do?
Yeah.
So see this. So if your wall doesn't get very good value from doing that, then that doesn't just change how you wall. That changes how you position as a whole, right? Because if I'm thinking I don't get a lot of value just walling Reinhardt on this map versus this composition because they're very spread out, because it's not very choke oriented, then how do you position? How do you play as Mei? And this is the key thing for Mei right here. What do you think?
I'd say I stay on that low ground, be annoying towards their Rhine, or maybe what I could do is just wall myself up and be annoying to the Widow.
Ah, so you're talking about legitimately putting yourself either like just kind of playing here and playing like an angle, or even just going on the high ground and actually like looking to go after Widow.
Yeah.
You see, this is the other strength of Mei that a lot of people miss, is what you described as you have some mobility options, right? But you know what else you have? You have 250 HP. You know what else you have? You have an ice block. You don't have a lot of like speed mobility, but you actually are pretty self-sustainable, right? You can actually kind of go on almost like a soldier and take angles by yourself, and you have the sustain to be able to do it by yourself. And if you could do it where on like it's a good high ground, good cover, maybe good wall opportunities, it's good value, right? It's good value.
Yep.
And see, if you're going to play Mei at a high level, you can't just pull out the Mei, wall the Rhine, push the Rhine anymore. That had mixed results in Overwatch 1 as it was, but in Overwatch 2, it doesn't work. You have to be so much more creative and dynamic. So right now, you're coming back from spawn. What's the play?
Well, what the play what I did was
Okay, what should you do? What should you do?
What should I do?
Yeah, this fight's kind of lost because your soldier's dead, but like let's play to win. How do we maybe turn this fight or clutch this fight?
Shoot the Widow, force like healers to respond to that Widow.
Yep.
And then if I can, just keep my distance.
Sure.
And try to hit a Pharah or not.
Sure.
I can go to high ground and be annoying to the Pharah too.
Sure. You could shoot the Widow, you could force her off, you could then shoot you could force her off, and then maybe you could even wall off the Widowmaker, force her to drop. If she drops, you walk on top of her and freeze her. If she drops over here, okay, great, you force her off of high ground. And then you could shoot far, and then heck, you could even do your little bunny hops up here to try and walk on the Widow. You know what I'm saying? Like just crazy crap. But this is what your hero could do, you know? Alright, let's see. You know, it's actually funny when you get close to that hero. It's actually shocking how good you are at that hero, right? Now you force it to drop. Now what do you do? It's tricky, isn't it?
You notice my Rhine's getting pinned. I would probably wall off the Rhine.
No, stop. You just said earlier how the wall doesn't get very much value. But why is walling off the Rhine here more value?
Because he's charging into our backline. That way I force the healer cooldowns.
Sure. Here's another way to look at it. Because you controlled the angle, because you cleared the Widow, where's this Widow's sightline right now? Do you see it?
It's not there.
So now if you wall here, you're not just walling off the Kiriko anymore. Who are you also walling off now?
Widow.
The Widow. So now the wall on main gets more value because you cleared the off angle first. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is really good. And the funny thing is you don't even need to drop here. I would not drop here. I would do the wall that we talked about, and then what would you do? Got options, right? What are some of those options?
Probably try to poke the Rhine.
Yeah, poke the Rhine out, shoot the Rhine out, maybe shoot at the Pharah. If you want to go super, super cheeky, you could do what we talked about here. Do your little bunny hop up here. Just dare them to try and push you out, you know? You've got options. But that's the problem, right? You had a good position. You get the wall, but what's the problem with where you're at right now? Where's the
Pharah?
Where's the Pharah? Where's the Widow? Are they on your screen right now?
No.
And can they shoot you right now?
Pharah can,
yes.
not Widow.
You've turned your back to things that can shoot you, right? It would have been better here to wall and then poke.
Okay.
Right? Because even if you drop and freeze this Rhine, what happens if the Reinhardt starts hitting you with his hammer?
Dies.
Right. Or you're gonna have to ice block, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's you have to be very selective about when you freeze Rhine. I mean, it can be good, but it's not always good. And The problem now is that because you're here and not like here or here, your opportunity to actually pressure and kill squishies is a lot lower, you know? Just something to consider. This is why I really enjoyed playing Mei, is because she's very hard, right? In Overwatch 2. You have to be very creative about what you do. Now, how would you use wall here? Be creative.
I can wall myself up, peek enemies while I'm waiting on our team.
Sure. Or if we're walking out at the spawn here, right? You know where that widow is, right?
Yep.
Wall her off. And then rotate. And then where would you go? Would you go to point? Maybe. Where else could you go?
High ground.
You could go high ground, right? Rotate to high ground, poke out this pharmacy. Don't let these guys do it. Because remember, a wall on Ryan is value. But could you do more elsewhere? Maybe. Something to consider. Definitely need to wall this here. I don't know if we're going to touch, but we're definitely not going to be able to touch. Aha, unlucky.
Yeah, our Ryan was AFK and spawn right there.
Oh no, was he?
Yeah, he was typing or something.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, now let's talk about Blizzard. We've talked a lot about like positioning playstyle a little bit, but we haven't talked about ultimate. What should you be doing with Blizzard?
Zoning. I could be baiting the cooldowns.
Sure. What's the value of zoning? Okay, let's put it that way.
Zoning to get us a position or.
Okay. Sure. So you're like, that position, you can run away from it, but that position is now my team's position, right? All right. So let's watch that. Let's watch this ultimate.
This wasn't the greatest.
Does this position matter to your team?
No.
No. So for zoning, you get a big fat red X. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What else can Blizzard be used for?
What I could have done, could have isolate. No, I could have.
Can you use it to force
Ryan.
cooldowns?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Which I did, but I mean it was too late. Didn't
look at
really
this from the
matter.
Kirkus perspective.
Yep.
What cooldown should you force with this Blizzard?
Cleanse.
Not even.
TP.
No. Just TP. That's it. Is that a good trade?
Yeah, it's a good trade.
Yeah. So it for her, right? Like if you only use TP for Blizzard, that's not good. I don't know why this Kiriko Suzu'd. There's no reason for her to Suzu when she could just TP away, right? Yeah. So an ultimate for a what is it? A 6-second cooldown? 9-second cooldown? I feel like I should know this. This is 6-second cooldown, like 7 second. Not very good, right? Okay, so cooldown trade, not good. So another big fat red X. So what else what can your ultimate be used for? How many kills should you be getting with a Blizzard?
Because
it's hard, right? Again,
it's not.
It's hard.
It's not a specific answer, man. I could freeze a Rhine.
Right. Is 1 kill good enough?
Depends who it is.
Okay. Who would you be looking for?
Well, either the tank or the healers. I mean, which I went for the healers, but I didn't realize that, no one was there to really help.
Right. But you had to know that she had TP and Suzu so that you knew that she wasn't going to die anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the plan here? What do you think you should have done differently? Let's ignore the fact that the point was capped and that the fight... Just focus on how do you win this fight with your ultimate right here.
I don't use it.
Okay. Until or when? Like how do you win? How do you get value out of this ultimate? Let's say that your Tracer's alive. Let's say your Tracer's alive. Let's just. I want to plan with the ultimate right here. How do we make this ultimate work? How do we force TP and Suzu? How do we get the kill? How do we isolate the healers of the tank? How do we do that?
Wall.
Sure.
And then I could wall and I could freeze half a side.
Sure. We could wall, freeze the Kiriko, right? Then what's she gonna do?
She's gonna use her TP.
Right. And then what do you do?
and then I use my ult
Right,
after I baited the TP.
Right. You think, okay, is that person now that the Kiriko is TP? Can I use it now? Right. Maybe she TP's too far away, and then we have to try it again. But you need to have a plan of like, if you want to use the ultimate to secure the kill, what do I need to do to set up the kill? And what I would say is a single kill. Generally, it doesn't matter even who it's on. A single kill with Blizzard usually is good enough to win the fight. Usually, one kill is a big thing in Overwatch 2. So for me here, it could be force Kiriko TP and focus her. It could be freeze the Mercy, force her GA or Valk or whatever, and then use it there. It could be throw Blizzard on the Reinhardt, and then what's Reinhardt going to do when you throw Blizzard on him?
Gonna charge.
And so what are you going to do to stop that charge?
Wall.
Or you can even ice block if he pins at you, right? So yeah. Right? You've got options here. You've got options. I think you did this because you panicked a little bit, but I think if we know what we're looking for, we can kind of keep ourselves focused in these crazy fights, because one kill is good enough. Now you do a good job focusing on Kiriko after she's used her cooldowns, but obviously the fight's lost. Nice shot. Okay, let's keep going. Do you have any questions so far, by the way? Oh, there's our Echo. Sick. I want to see if we get any more Mei, though. Okay, do you mind if do you want to stick with Mei and then we'll go back to Echo in a second? That work for you?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, let's keep going. So more very anti-Mei comp. Lots of range, lots of high ground, but as we saw, you can be creative and you can make it work. Nice shot. It's going to get res. But still very nice. Oh my goodness, you're going in. Now this is crazy aggressive, but what's behind you right now?
My Ryan, I told my team to speed in. I didn't even see the Kiriko.
Yeah, the Kiriko is just chilling, right? But they're with you, right? And what do you have in the bottom right of your cooldowns here, right?
Ice block.
Ice block, and heck, even wall, right? So you're good to go. Nice. Oh. Clutch. Get her. Oh, she's cooked. Nice. They didn't even know it hit him. A million miles per hour. Okay. Now here we go again. They're on the Ashe now. No, I like Ashe personally. I think as a Mei player, I'm a big fan of Ashe. It's just another head to shoot, right? So, what are you thinking here, positioning wise?
I'm thinking, I didn't see that they swapped to Ashe. I was just playing as it goes.
Sure. Is this wall gonna get good value right now? Splits off the Kiriko for a split second.
Well, I was trying to wall off the Rhines, forcing the TP, but I kind of messed that wall up. I mean, didn't really get much value.
Is there a good wall that you'd be able to get here that's gonna work well enough?
Not really.
You know what I'm saying? There just isn't anything here. And the other thing too is like, okay, we're gonna force TP, but then what, right? Because you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much follow-up here because your team isn't here. So what's the play here, optimally?
Just build up ult.
Sure. Just shoot, right? Just shoot. And here's the other thing. Is this position here, is a wall on Ryan, pressure on main tank, going to be the highest return on investment for you right now? Or in the next 15, 20 seconds?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be, but I wonder if there's going to be opportunities for you to push high ground here. Now, if the Widow is like, here, probably can't. Probably she's too far away. Like he's going to ruin your day. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe let's see. Oh, wait. Now the wall gets value, right? Because now look at the Kiriko, look at the Mercy, look at the Ashe. You see that?
Yep.
So when you time your walls well, then you can see how many more people they split off. This Rhine should die. Oh, by the way, who should you be focusing right now?
Rhine?
No. Mercy and Kiriko. You will do more effective damage to the people trying to heal the Rhine than you will do to Reinhardt yourself and the situation. Mm-hmm. You see that?
Yep.
You do turn to the Mercy here, but I would not be turning my back to this Kiriko. And I would not have even started to think about Ryan. This is good, though. Nice, and that sets up the Shatter. Brilliant. Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't jump, don't jump. Nice, nice. Nice movement. No, 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 no. See, even here, it's like, why wall here when you could wall maybe up here now and chase? I think the Ryan's dead either way. Get her. Nice. Nicely done. Uh-oh. Now, you want to go, right?
Yep.
This is I'm getting the impression from you. Do you communicate a lot in ranked and team chat?
Yep.
Just something to consider, right? Are we all here? Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah, we're all here.
Basically, right? But before this, we weren't. Remember when you were the first time you rolled on May here, and then when we were on attack here? Just something to keep in mind. When you're communicating a lot, you have to also be not only a good listener, but paying attention to what's going on behind you. All right? I'm ready for the May ult. I'm ready for the May ult. Oh, it's going to be fat. Oh, it's going to be so fat. Nice. Nicely done. Very good. Very, very fat. Even with Suzu, they got toasted. Nice job. Now, what do you think about this point? So we spent a lot of time talking about taking angles and, you know, maybe not just only focusing on the Reinhardt because you couldn't always get good walls, you know, maybe, but where are we at in Blizzard World right now? You kind of see it? Look at the point.
What?
I mean, compare the point, the map geometry, right?
Oh, height.
Right. This is so much more open, no? Whereas you look at this here, if I see a Reinhardt walking through to, like, let's say here, do you think a wall would get good value?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the dynamics, right? This is where you have to decide what's going to get more value. Probably not worth walling. You know, we're not in a position to push just yet. You see the payload? You see your team? Don't wall.
Yep.
Sit on it. Make them walk to the corner, then wall punish them. Because we can't push off of that. He wanted it. Now a wall would be really helpful, right? Because you see where the payload is?
Yep.
So I think one thing that you're doing in communication is I really like your communication, but sometimes, I'd say about half the time, you're trying to call pushes, but you have no idea where anywhere on the cart or in the backline is. And so that what's happening is you're like, oh, we got, you know, we're trying to push here, but we can't. Our Rhine is, or our Ana, excuse me, is too far away. So whenever you're taking aggression and you're leading, you absolutely have to know what's going on behind you. Because now it's like, we just kind of stand there because we can't push because they're honest. And so what eventually happens is we just slowly die. We wall, good. All right, play it out. Everybody's here now. I know what type of wall I'm going to see. Surely. This wall right here, maybe. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah. Why? Because how many people get walled off by that?
One.
And how many people are walled off from seeing and shooting and doing damage?
4.
That's a big number, right? That's a big number. There it is. The only problem is the not quite my tempo, right? Not quite there. But you know what? That's just practice. You had the right idea, you just didn't execute it very well. Now the funny thing though is if you mess up this wall, that's okay, but where do you need to be shooting? What do you need to be thinking about right now? Not Rhine Shield, but what? And what else is on your screen?
Well, I got 4 enemies looking at me.
Right. So this is the problem, is a lot of maze is you press the wall, focus tank, but that's not always good. We saw that also in our second attack, where we should have been focusing Kiriko Mercy immediately, right? So we messed up the wall, yes, but also we got to kind of keep our head in the swivel. Good transition to Lucio there. Here's the beat. Here it comes, right? Here it comes. Yeah, nice, drop it. Nice. Good. Now here's a really cute idea. You've got your ice block, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about this? What do you think? Am I trolling?
Ice block on.
You've got your ice block, so you have more freedom to play aggressively, right? So what if you took like a little flank here? Short flank, right? Not a long flank and a one where you can get close to them. But what do you think? Trolling?
And there would already be backing. I would sort of force him in a.
Yeah, something to consider.
Oh.
Careful. Careful. Uh-oh. You have a tendency sometimes to, like, when you get a little bit tunneled, right? Where you start to walk forward, you start to hit your shots before the fight starts, and you don't consider your team's positioning. But honestly, here, it's not even not considering your team's positioning. I mean, yes, your soldiers in spawn. You need to know that. But also you're just standing out in the open, right? So where should you be at this point in time?
It'd be a little more back.
Okay,
Could
where?
be take that left high ground.
You like over here?
Yeah.
How about this? You could be here, or you could be a little bit forward, but the idea is still here rather than here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something to consider. Because you need your ice block because the fight's about to start, right? You must have it. Uh-oh. Disaster.
Everyone presses Q.
I think it's a little bit unfortunate, the beat timing, because obviously when they press the beat, they're going to press W. And so then your button was pressed if they didn't press W, but they did. And then obviously it gets Suzu'd as well. So it's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, let's focus. I'm more concerned about the placement of, like, you focusing on, like, the cover usage, I think in particular. I think we've seen enough here. I think we've seen enough. So what are your goals with Mei? What are some skills that you need to practice with Mei?
Hey, whenever I'm playing aggressive, I need to be wary of where my positioning is according to my healers.
Positioning and cover. Yeah. What else?
You mentioned staying on positions when you need it, like that high ground.
Sure. Think about how much the question starts is with how much value, how many people can I wall off by walling off the enemy tank? And then if the answer is like it's like they're a dive tank or the map is too open, then you need to be more dynamic and more flexible with how you position, right? Think more creatively, if that makes sense. How much value does wall on tank get? If not a lot, not a good split. Think about what you can get with your kit with your survivability. Because remember, the big thing is that you have a lot more survivability than most DPS, and you're actually really, really good at dueling as well. So you could play a little bit more self-sufficient, and leveraging that by, like, solo pushing a Widow or contesting a Tracer or something like that is actually can you often be really, really, really good. Okay. What else? Those are the big two, I think. But are there anything else that you saw?
The missed opportunities to kill, to be on height. I mean, I think I already mentioned that.
Sure.
Let me see. Getting a little tunnel vision.
Yeah. What about your ults?
Oh yeah, that was trying to see what the best ult possibility is.
Sure. I think prepping your ults would help.
What you mean by that?
Well, as in, think ahead of time what you want to accomplish with it.
Yep.
And try to set it up. It feels like a lot of your ults were just kind of panic. Oh no, I just seen it, I just throw it. But
well, what I thought whenever I threw my first ult right there is I saw both of the healers right there, but I didn't, and I knew they'd use cooldowns.
Right.
But I didn't expect them to just dip out like that. It's kind of like almost a brain dead play.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
intention.
Yeah, exactly. Just have a plan, and then think about, like, if I'm going to force the Kiriko cooldowns first, how do I do that so then I can get a good blizzard, right? Or I don't need to worry about Kiriko cooldowns. I'm going to get a really close wall and just throw it on the Ryan and block him off from his charge. But have a strategy, right, ahead of time. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to look at some of... we've got about 10 minutes. Do you want to look at some Echo?
Sure.
Okay. Do you play Echo here? I think you do, yeah, right?
Not for long, but yeah.
Okay. Is it enough to take a look, I guess? Or
Sure.
do you want a different code?
I'll see. I can find one.
Sure. We got a few minutes if you want to take one really quick.
Replay isn't wanting to work.
Uh-oh.
I think I definitely play Numbani here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Got it. We'll only have time for a few fights, but I think we'll have enough to get an idea of what we need to be doing here. Okay, so May. I do like Echo on this map. I like the verticality, you know? High grounds and all that stuff makes it fun. All right, let's take a look here.
Oh, there it is.
Small thing. This is a bit of a micro tip, but I don't like stickies on Winston Bubble as much because Winston Bubbles generally break pretty fast just with using M1 and your team follow-up. Like right now, I want you to kind of go in and sticky and beam this guy. You see that?
Yeah,
but you still have 3 seconds.
I'd probably do that too.
That's a good thing to do. Now the funny thing here is, why are you focusing Monkey and not somebody else? You make the right decision here, but I want you to tell me why this was the right decision.
I had to put pressure on Monkey or else our Widow would die.
Sure. Look at the Monkey's position in comparison to the rest of his team. You see this? Yep. You see the gap here? Mm-hmm. Now, what happens if this Hanzo or Zenyatta are walking? Like, let's say the Hanzo like flies up here and goes really aggressive too, or like the Zenyatta's like here, right? Now you've got a tricky decision, don't you? Because now everybody's playing aggressive. Who do you focus? So for you as Echo, take your good high ground position, right? And then try to decide who to shoot from there. But who you shoot usually depends on who's going aggressive. Because here's the question. Are you good at killing tanks or are you good at killing squishies? Both, right?
Both, really.
Right? Uh-huh. Both. So it really depends on who's playing the most aggressively. So major thing here is not who you're shooting, but just how you did it, right? Now, this is probably a mistake. Because you're like, oh, Monkey's playing aggressively, right? He doesn't have bubble, right? However, watch this. Do you see?
Yep.
So now it's like both are playing aggressively, but I think the Hanzo is probably slightly more killable. So I would focus on the Hanzo. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, Winston's a fine target, but I think I would prefer the Hanzo just a little bit. Now, why are you focusing Junkrat? Right?
The guy's free.
He's trolling, right? He's absolutely trolling. So yeah, get the guy, light him up. Brilliant. Cover. So then where should you reposition like immediately right now as soon as you get your shift? Where should you go?
High ground.
Where? Which one?
Left side.
Why left side?
Because we're capitalizing off the picks. Like they have no tanks, so we can be more aggressive.
Yeah. Do you like poking as Echo? Like range stuff?
Yeah.
Do you like getting up close to people as Echo?
Oh yeah.
So then when do you do which? Like, do you like poking here versus these guys?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure? Versus this comp? Look at the comp, right?
If on a Hanzo, I mean, I'd probably still poke it, really.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But you probably see what I'm saying. I want you to dive these guys, but if you got a
Yeah.
Winston or whatever, you have like
Oh
this
yeah.
weird dynamic, right, where you could do both. But I mean, even you say you probably would still poke, but yet look at what you're doing, right? You're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You need to get closer to these guys most of the time because they have that range advantage on you. But something like a Monkey, Zarya, Reaper, Tracer, just poke those guys, All right. Cool. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't poke a Hanzo. You just need to be careful.
Yeah.
All right. Like right here, this just makes no sense, honestly. Your positioning. Like, what are the odds that something happens for him versus what happens for you? It's just too risky. You should be thinking about next fight. Where should you be for next fight?
Well, I do start to notice that Hanzo's on the low ground and they're coming up. Because I mean Zarya's starting to battle them.
Right. So
So
then,
I'd be
where
probably
would you be?
playing back near Zarya.
Sure, you could. How about this? Right here. Just where you were previously. If the Hanzo comes up, you can deal with him. If they come out on high ground, you're in a great position to spam them and dive them from there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seem unsure. What do you think?
And what the plan, what I was thinking there is just if I go in there and then I just sit back and I throw my bombs just to pressure them enough, I could help my Zarya
So like
a
through
little
this
bit,
choke
hopefully get a
here?
pick. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You do get pretty fat, sticky value. I guess my concern would be is if you go here, does that allow the Hanzo to take like the high ground angle instead?
Okay. Okay.
I'm not sure. I think your logic makes sense though. But just don't peek the Hanzo here. And see what happens?
Yep.
He tries to. Your Genji gets him rid of him though. So okay, we're good. Maybe. Oh, that is fat. Huge cooldown trade. Right now, you got to be careful again of Hanzo, who's again aggressive because we're not there. It's a risk versus reward, right? You get fat stickies before they even walk out of the choke. You force a Winston bubble. That's a huge cooldown trade, but you just got to be careful of Hanzo. Okay. That's some crazy ASMR, Ooh! Oh no, this is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited for this. This is actually okay. So the funny thing with echo copy, right? You play it can use it for a second life, right? But what makes a good echo copy depends a lot of times on the position that you take, right? Junkrat is not a good echo copy, but look at where you're positioned. This could be really good, right? I don't know. Let's see.
Unfortunately, I have the idea, but they killed me too quick.
That's tragic. Honestly, though, I'm a huge fan of the idea. If you're ever gonna copy Junkrat, that's when you would do it. That could have been easily like a 3K and like yeah. Careful. It's still the Hanzo that's spooking me so much. Like oh jeez. Yeah. So let's look at one more fight. That work for you? Wait, oh no, you bail on me. That's okay. We
I
at least
should
have time for
chose
questions.
my replay codes.
That's okay. You're good. So from the little bit of echo that we saw, what are some little skills or some things that you can practice in your next game? We didn't see a whole lot, but we got some ideas of some things that you can practice.
Making space on those 1v1s with the DPS, making sure that they don't get that advantage.
Yeah, controlling
Because
DPS.
the Houndsel did kill me off eventually.
Yeah, controlling DPS with angles, and he killed your Genji too, and then he was shooting your backline. Controlling DPS with angles. Think about best target to shoot given your position, right? Is that a tank? Is that a squishy? I don't know. Depends on who's closer, right? Obviously, a squishy is an easier kill, but if a tank is going way too aggressive, you could burn the crap out of that tank, right? Anything else that you saw? I think your cooldown usage was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I've been practicing.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah. Maybe just some cover. Being aware of who's on the flank. Because remember when you turned on the Winston who dove in, but there's a Hanzo right next to you, and I don't think you knew it. And then even that last fight there, I don't think you knew Hanzo was on that high ground popping shots at you. Just something to be aware. If you have any questions.
Hmm.
We talked about a lot of stuff with Mei and Echo, but anything comes to mind?
Do you think Echo? I mean, a lot of people usually always combo Echo of Mercy.
Yeah.
I rarely see like solo Echoes. Do you think it's necessary?
No.
Like if they're
No.
just a climb?
No, it's not. It's not. Because you have a lot more control over your kit, and and there's more that you can do as like a quote unquote like I wouldn't say ground echo because that's not good, but there's like more. It's like you're almost like somewhere between a Genji and a Pharah, you know, where you have more flexibility with how you can position and flank and take high grounds and things like that. And you don't even need a Mercy pocket. You just need an Ana, a little bit of pocket, maybe a Brig pack, maybe a Harmony orb. You know, maybe some Batiste pocket when you need to. You know, you're a lot more like fluid with movement. So no, you do not need a Mercy pocket.
Because I usually find myself playing a little more with the team whenever I'm not with the Mercy.
Sure. Well, that's natural, right? Because you can't go as hard flanky all the time. But that doesn't mean you have to play on top of your team. It just means that the angles or flanks that you take, you don't go quite as far. I mean, we were talking about this with Mei, for crying out loud, right? What are some tight little short angles or flanks that you can take with Mei? Well, you don't have the self-sustain that Mei has, but you're a heck of a lot faster. So you have a little bit of options there. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? And if you can't think of any, you can shoot me a message anytime.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, then shoot me a message if any questions do come up. And you do have a free replay code review. So what that means is anytime you have a game, Echo, Mei, Reaper, whatever, that you're like, I wasn't sure what to do, send me the replay code with like 4 timestamps, like, you know, this fight, and I'll give you some feedback. Just a little bit of extra feedback within a couple of days. So if there's something that you wanted to look at with Mei again or with Echo, or like let's say you wanted some Reaper feedback as well, just shoot me anytime, and that you could do that anytime you'd like. It could be a week from now, a month from now, whenever. Sound good?
All right, then.
All right, mate. Keep in touch. Good luck with your practice. Remember what we talked about a little bit with hero pools, a little bit with training time, and yeah, good luck with your training. All right. Appreciate your patience with the review as well. Sorry we started late. All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye bye. All right, let's hop into our next one. Okay, I think these we're about to start. All right, Roland. It's Roland time, and then we're gonna look at some patch notes. So yeah, I'm kind of sick. Part of the reason why I assume I was so tired this past Tuesday, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm still pretty like my throat kind of hurts, kind of stuffed up. So yeah, give me a second. I got it! Blowing my nose unceremoniously. Teddy Turkey, thank you for the sub, mate. I appreciate it. All right, Roland is here. We're good to go. Let me pull up Roland form really fast, and now we'll get rolling. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay. Long-term, short-term goals in Overwatch. Long-term reach gold. Short-term get out of bronze. Okay, what do you hope to get out of the session? I want to focus on Wrecking Ball and learn what are the most important improvements I need to make. Also, Ball is so much fun. Totally get that there. 100%. Hey, Poke. Anything additional? No, looking forward to it. Awesome. Hero pool and ranked. Balls and Yada and Ryan. Okay. Am I the one who feels like Ryan Sigma don't deserve the nerf? Don't spoil anything. No way. I'll look at it. Okay. Hero pool and rank, Balls and Ryan. Okay, so bronze 3. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about training structure. Roland, if you have any questions, just holler. I'm just going to throw my quick tips. So one thing that really will help for you to get out of, just to improve as a whole, I wouldn't even say get out of bronze, just to improve, right? Is a good general basic training structure. So having like, try to focus on ranked. Ranked is the most important thing that you can do. Competitive mode is the best practice out there. So having a short warm-up, 5-10 minutes, and then jumping right in and playing ranked games is the best. In addition to that, you want to try and play for around an hour a day. If you can get that 45 minutes, just say 2 or 3 games per day is good. Focusing on specific goals that I give you. And then when you're done with that, if you want to keep playing, play for fun, that's fine, but really make sure that if you can play every day, even if it's just a couple of games, really, really, really nice. Very, very important. I think like the key thing with getting improving is always having like a very good basic training structure. So a little bit of a warm up, play your ranked games, focus on playing only the heroes that you want to get better at. So you say Balls and Yada and Ryan, that's fine. Those are 3 different heroes. It's not too many different heroes, but really make sure that you're trying to focus on getting those heroes, because this game is really complicated, right? Like there's so many different things and so many nuances and mechanics to learn. So if you spend too much time splitting up that time between 2 different heroes and playing quick play and arcade, and I'm gonna play some Diva hero, I'm gonna play Junkrat this game, like you need to try and stick with the heroes that you're doing. And you might already be good at that, but you know, figure it's worth mentioning. Okay. So consistent training time, consistent hero pool. If you have to skip a couple of days because you've been busy, that's okay. But try to avoid playing catch up. Like I'm gonna try and cram a bunch of play, like 7 hours of the weekend. You know, you try to get play consistently as much as you can. I would say if you do have more time, something like an hour and a half of ranked is good. 2 hours of ranked is even better. But if after like 2.5, 3 hours, diminishing returns, really. Sleep looks pretty good. 7 hours of sleep. Obviously, if it's 8, it's even better, but 7 isn't bad. What do you feel is holding you back from improving mentality, understanding mechanics? Honestly, probably everything. Roland, if you want to type up some of the things that come to mind when you feel like the details there, in my chat, I'll get into the gameplay in just a second, or you can even do it afterwards. After the review is done, you can type up some of those thoughts, and I will give you back some feedback on some ways that you can improve that. But the big thing I would say for you is try to have a very consistent training structure. It doesn't have to be like I get up at 9 a.m. I play, but when you play, this is how we're trying to play. Short warm up, a few ranked games, and working at the goals that I give you in here. Yeah. Hey Entropy. Hey guys. Hey Streetback. Let me fix my UI here. So this is going to be Bronze Ball. Ball is extremely fun to play, super, super unique. And I hope that the new hero Lifeweaver feels a little bit like Ball. Because Ball, I remember when Ball first came out as well. And Ball at first felt like Fever Dream. Like there's no way this is like a real Overwatch hero, right? But then as soon as you literally load it up into the practice range, you're like, oh. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun, right? And I'm hoping the new hero feels like this. Maybe a little bit like sticks out like a sore thumb, but an actual execution is like really, really fun. So let's see, Bronze Ball. Okay, getting the UI set up here, and let's take a look. What's a good warm up? I honestly think like for you, it might just be playing like here's an idea: play like an unranked deathmatch game. So like. Just go here, unranked, deathmatch. And obviously people are going to be mad at you for playing tank and deathmatch, but it's nerfed tank, right? So it's not even, they've nerfed you in deathmatch as well. So it's like, it's honestly fine. Like you could get away with it. Yeah, I would give it a shot. Just play one game. Just get your, body, brain, mind warm. All right, let's take a look here. So Ball is really, really good at putting pressure and threatening kills on specific targets, like most tanks are, right? Like if I look at the enemy composition, I can pressure a Baptiste, I can pressure Caster, I can pressure Mercy, heck, I can even pressure Echo. I'm not very good at killing Reinhardt. It takes me way too long to kill Reinhardt, so I'm generally going to try to ignore Reinhardt for the most part. And this is where a lot of misconceptions about tanking and lower ranks can come into play. If you haven't been flamed yet for picking a real tank yet, it will be happening soon. See, the thing is, in lower ranks and even mid ranks, there's this misconception that tanking are for protecting your team. That's not what tanking is for. Corners and cover are for protecting your team. Tanks are for creating space and causing chaos and threat to the enemy team that allows your team to capitalize off of that distraction. If you were to sit there and to stand and just harass Reinhardt to protect your team, you would be allowing Cassidy and Baptiste and Mercy and Echo to do whatever they want. In fact, the best protection you can have for your team is to try to kill these guys so that then they are focusing on surviving or shooting you and not your team. So you're not very good at threatening a kill on Reinhardt. So Reinhardt can just pretty much ignore you and just go kill your team anyway. But if you threaten a Baptiste or a Cassie or a Mercy, they have to freak out. They have to try and they won't be focusing on your team at that point in time. Yeah, exactly. Who cares? And the problem goes away. Right. All right. So Ball's pretty good on this map. There's a lot of nice open space, which makes it really good. But like even right now, I would be trying to set up for the targets that I'm good at 1v1ing. So as soon as you come out of spawn, your goal should be generally will be go to the back, because most of the heroes that Ball is good at dueling are generally positioned in the back. And then you're thinking, okay, who's on the team? Okay, I see Bap, Mercy, okay. And then once you know who you're going for, the next question is when. All right? So you need to get where, so get behind them generally. You need to go who, right? And that's going to be Cassidy, Baptiste, Mercy, whatever. You'll get a better idea of who's easier to kill as you get more practice. And then once you do that, when is a good time. Because the funny thing here is, even though your Widow's dead, she shouldn't have really died. That's actually a little bit unfortunate. How did your Widow die here? Because if you think about it, oh, she just got full stickied. If you think about it, look at how far away your team is and the enemy team. So really right now, if you were to like go in right now, your team wouldn't really be able to do anything about that space or about that distraction. So what you kind of have to do is, once you were to get, like, let's say back here and you see Batiste and Cassie, you might just wait. All right, now we're walking forward. Maybe now I start shooting Mercy. Maybe now I start shooting Cassie. Now your team is honestly playing too scared. If they played cover better, they wouldn't be so scared. But it doesn't matter. If you're aware of when your team is actually there, you could do more with it. Now let's actually see what we do. You see, the problem here, you get a nice juicy slam. But who'd you get a nice juicy slam on? Who were you pressuring here? Mostly Reinhardt. I mean, look at the guy's HP. He doesn't care. Right? Imagine if you were able to set up, roll around behind, shoot these guys, and this is a really cool tech. You roll off, 180 turns, slam back on the high ground. Holy Moses. Even if you couldn't, even if you just got here and grappled and knocked this guy off and slammed from here, even if you went and you just shot Mercy and slammed the Mercy instead, right? So it's all about return on investment. What's the most pressure that I can put out? Those of you guys who were here for the support seminar this past weekend, it's the same thing with tank a lot of the time. Yes, this is a target that I like. Yes, and see, even if you just stop here and just shot, yes, immense pressure. There's his shift. He's running away, and there's the Mercy pocket. So you forced Batiste's shift, you forced 2 healers' attention, and the Cassidy's turning around. Now you're low now, so you're going to have to stop. You're not going to be able to get the kill. But remember, it's not the kill itself that gets value, it's the threat of the kill. I might kill you, so right now you need to just be rolling out, grab Mega Health back, reset, do it again. You just messed up mechanically. I'm not gonna lie to you. You just messed it up. If you grapple there, you roll through, you grab Mega, you're fine, you're good to go. But this is you can kind of see what I'm talking about though. Like theoretically, look at how many members of the enemy team are turning around and focusing on you. That's good. And you should have survived all that too. And you should have gone and done it again. And at the same time, this Reinhardt's getting no help. That's what you're gonna do. You can't carry your teammates and tell them to focus Reinhardt, while I'm going for backline, but you can increase the chances that they do it. You can increase the chances that you just get a solo kill by yourself, right? You play better, you're going to win the majority of your games. That might be 55%, might not be 70%, but that's all we're looking for. In the long run, you'll get better. Where? On the backline, right? So now who? Not Reinhardt. So you're not looking right now. You're not paying attention. You should see Cassidy Mercy. You should also see Batiste by himself over here, not Reinhardt. So we've got the where right, we set up, but the who is totally wrong. Totally wrong. Stop focusing the Reinhardt. You're thinking. I know what you're thinking right now. I'm gonna have a little bit of hubris here and try and guess. You're thinking I have to get rid of this Reinhardt because he's stopping my team from walking forward. But your hero is not great at that. Sometimes it's okay to shoot around. Like let's say he was really low. Maybe he's got no armor. Maybe you think you can boop him in. Maybe it's okay. But it's the equivalent of like here's your equivalent, right? If you were to try to coach an American football team, all right, that is made of really, really fast players, and you're playing up against these big bulky guys for the championship, right? You wouldn't spend the weeks leading up to that game trying to bulk all your fast players up. You would instead try to come up with a strategy that utilized your speed and avoided their bulk. The best way that you can help your team now is to not get rid of the Reinhardt directly, but to harass everywhere the Reinhardt is not, so that eventually his shield will break and he will die because he's not getting healing. Or actually the Reinhardt is not even a factor because these guys start dying and your team just ignores the Reinhardt entirely. I know that's hard to understand sometimes, but honestly, like clearing the tank is not always the best thing. Because your impact here has really just been minimal, right? You set up for something good, and then even this, you end up slamming right. And now our where isn't even right because we're not even staging for backline. We're just sitting on cart. This is the best thing that we've done in the past 15 seconds. Look at that. Look what you just did. Look what you didn't even realize it. You didn't even realize it. Why does the Mercy fly there? Do you want to know why? Why does the Mercy fly out in the open? Oh crap. Ball slamming me. Now Cassidy's isolated because you forced the Mercy to run away. And so now that Cassidy's low, and now the Cassidy dies. Now look at this Reinhardt. Who cares? Who cares about the Reinhardt? They're falling apart at the seams. You're like an assassin. You're slashing the Achilles and you're blinding the eyes and you're crippling the knees and yeah, their guts all happy, but they're gonna be sitting there flopping and wobbling over and losing balance, and that's how you're winning. You're crippling their off angles, you're hitting them on the flank, right? You're taking out their life support. And then even now it's like, okay, now we need to play our life. We need to be really careful. So the other thing with ball too is it's like you can't always be in, right? You're low right now, you don't have your adaptive shields. Okay, now we're good to go. Now we can do whatever we want. And you timed it perfectly as well. Your team was right there to shoot them with you. Careful, because this is not only the wrong person to shoot, but also your team is over here. So your team can't help you do this. So unless you're guaranteed going to get a kill here, you need to be very careful. Oh, right. It's just too easy. Like they look, now you're out. Oh, it's very, very risky. Very risky. So what should you be doing here instead, Roland? So Roland, I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about this one. So right here, where should you be setting up? And who should you be setting up on? And when should you go? Think about it. Just for a second. You don't need to type it or anything. Just think it. Let's see if we come up with the go to Mercy. Right. So what I'm thinking is, can I roll back here and hide? Hide. Oh, Cassidy runs into me. Maybe I go for Cassidy now. Honestly, maybe even you go up here, right? And you hide. And then you look for Mercy. See, now's a great time to go for Mercy. Do you see how long that was between when you went and when you should have gone? 2:01 all the way to like almost like 15 seconds later. Now we ought to go for backline. And now, like you said, go to Mercy. Right. Uh-oh. Good. I wouldn't bother with the ball. Drop mines. Nice. Where's the squishies? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Yes, 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 yes. Huge. No! Get the Mercy, get the Mercy. Stop shooting the Rhine. Stop shooting the Rhine. You will take forever to shoot Rhine. Shoot Echo or Mercy or anything. You know, this fight's gonna fail because of who you're focusing. Huge mines, but failure, right? There you go. You know, honestly, your movement with ball is not bad for a bronze player. It's not bad. It's not very good, but it's not bad. You just need to be focusing on the right targets. That's so much of your play right now is boiling down to just focusing on the right targets right now. So what I'll do is, now that we've kind of talked a lot about that, is I won't hammer on it over and over again. I will point it out when I see it again. But I won't elaborate and explain, repeat myself. Instead, I'll see if there's anything else, little details that I can point out. So paying attention to where your team is positioned, making sure that you're going for the right targets. Ouch. Those are the two big things that we've seen so far. So catalog those two skills. I'm actually going to type them in your channel right now. Make sure you are going in when your team can shoot the enemy, not even the same target. Like, they might not be able to shoot the Mercy, but they might be able to shoot something else. All right, and then aim for the most killable targets. So where do I position on the enemy team? Usually backline. Who do I go on? You know, actually, let me flip that up. I want you to answer who first, because that will tell you where you need to go, right? If I'm going for backline, there you go. Where do I position the enemy? And when do I go? When my team can do damage. All right. So then, okay. So those are the big, like, those are the big ones. Let's see if there's any tips or tricks I can give you, or any other points here. What do you think? I like these mines. I like my Cassie's position for follow-up. I like my supports will be there very soon in just a moment, right? This is going to be good. I'm very sure that this is going to be good. You see? Doesn't take rocket science. You just had to predict, well-timed, well-placed, and you even did it from a flank. They had no idea it was coming. Really nicely done. Almost. Now here, the win is very important. Look at your team, look at your team. You see? That's why you die. You're pushing so far beyond where your team can help, so that the entire enemy team can focus you down, and there's nothing that your team can do. You see, when you're playing ball, you're not going to be positioned with your team very often, but they should still be able to shoot things that you can shoot. Like, for example, if you're going in with ball here, you're not likely to be here. You're likely to be over here, or whatever, but your team can shoot the area where you're shooting. They can't help you here. That's the difference. You're not like playing with your team, but where your team can see you, or at least see what you're doing. That's the big difference. And then now the fight's lost, so you should just focus on setting up for next fight. Oh, maybe we see 9. Maybe we see 9. Maybe we see 9. Nice. That's still good. I would just get out. Nice. Like, honestly, dude, your movement is really not bad. Like, for a bronze player, really not truly. Like, you're. I don't know how many hours you have on ball, but you're showing some practice with this hero. Obviously, like I said, needs to get better, but it's not bad. Now that slam only worked because it also hit the echo. Bam! Fight winner. Again, you hit squishies. You hit squishies, we're happy. If you don't hit squishies, we're not happy. Unless that Ryan is so feeding that there's literally nothing else to shoot but Ryan, then yeah. Oh, come on. Come on, nice. This is really good. This is really good. You see Ryan drop the point, but you ignore Ryan. You go for the high ground to clear them off, right? The worst thing you could do here is to shoot the Ryan. This is so much more valuable. Big mines. Big mines. Uh-oh. Oh, we didn't get off our adaptive shields. Did we cap? Surely we cap. Nano. Oh, come on. Come on, guys. Chat, do they win it? No, the Cassie's focusing the Rhine. No, everybody focuses tank too much. Ah! Good. Focus on Squishy. Look at that map. He's totally out of the fight now. You force Mercy Pocket, and now he's totally out of the fight. Nice. Get the far now. Oh, whoa. Cut the ledge. Nice. We cap. Yes? Nice. Nice. And your aim, by the way, isn't too bad. It could definitely be practiced. So one thing I might try to do with your aim, have you ever heard the term trigger discipline before? Obviously everybody in my chat has, but I want to know if you know what trigger discipline is. So trigger discipline is essentially where you take, here, let me show you trigger discipline really fast, how it would apply to ball. So you have a massive clip, okay? Yeah, this is broad. So you have a massive clip. So try to not hold down the mouse button for the entire clip if you're not hitting your shots. Yeah, no problem. So what I would do is I'd be like, okay, I'm here. Oh. You know, because he moves behind cover, or if I mess up my aim, let's say I mess up my aim, you know, okay, I'm here. Oh. Give me a second to like realign my crosshair. That's a really important thing to do, because not only will that help you to hit more shots, but because you will waste fewer ammo, it's okay to not shoot for a second. But also, it will help you practice your mechanics more, because you will spend more time forcing yourself to do it the right way. It's like the trigger discipline is the equivalent of, like, you know, your mom tells you to make your bed, and you're just like, and you just throw all the blankets in there, and you're 5 years old and you're just not doing it right. But then your mom comes back in and says, nope, do it again. You didn't do it right. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again. And then by like the 4th or 5th time, you're tired. You're not throwing a fit anymore, and you're actually doing it correctly. Trigger discipline is saying, my aim isn't very good. Nope, stop shooting. Reline your nope, stop shooting. Reline your crosshair. It's like it's kind of forcing yourself to actually do what you need to do to improve your aim. Yes, I play the guitar. Not particularly well. I play enough guitar to write music, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. So I think with you, it's a lot of the missed shots you could have. You can improve your accuracy and improve your practice by just forcing yourself to, if you're starting to miss a lot of shots, you're having a hard time, take a second. It's okay. Just realign your crosshair. Try again. Yeah, no problem. Now, here's the question, chat. If you're playing ball right now, and anyone in chat can answer this one. If you're playing ball right now, what should you do? What should you do? Yeah, we can take a look. Set up. Yeah, we'll after this fight, we'll go to the next code. Go set up. Yep. But do we need to go now? Set up first, but do we need to go?
60 seconds.
When do we go? Right, there's nothing happening, right? The enemy team is literally doing nothing. My team is literally doing nothing. We're just pushing cart for free. So set up and wait. And wait. And wait. So we should be on the flank here, looking through the wall and listening and watching. And you can even third person, right? Look a little bit. And we're gonna wait. And we're gonna wait. And we're gonna wait. And we're gonna wait. We still shouldn't be going in, by the way. I know you're EMPing, but I guess you guys, if you see the EMP, go in with the EMP. But really, honestly, there's no reason for us to even go now. Nice poop. But really, if they're just gonna sit at that choke, now we go, right? No? Yeah. So you guys went in with EMP because EMP, but yeah. Okay. We'll take a look at this. If things moves in the wrong against the pond, we will turn back to okay, let's take a look. Now, Paraíso is a little bit harder because it's a lot more tight, so there's going to be less space for you to get your stuff done. That being said, there is some decent high ground. By the way, I like the ball skin. This is probably my favorite ball skin, so good choice. I didn't go in with the EMPA. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, yes, you're bad. But honestly, you're doing a lot of really good things. So, I don't know. Oh, no. So, who do you go on? Look at the comp. Who do you go on? Symmetra's fine, right? Symmetra. Cassidy, Mercy, right? Those are pretty good kills. But my question was, did you go on this because Symmetra? Or did you go on this because Giant Red Clump? Or Blue in this case. Or Ryan. Do I want to... I hope you weren't focusing Reinhardt. Yeah, you need to have an idea of who you're going for so that you can actually... Because the thing is if you think, well, I want to go for Cassidy Mercy, then don't slam here, slam here. Something to think about. And then, is now a good time to go? I think probably okay. Like, there's enough of our team is here to shoot. But were we paying attention to that, or was that an accident that we happened to time it well? I don't know. And then the other thing, too, is if we're going for backline... After I slam, where should I be rolling to? Why am I rolling back to my team? Roll the backline, grab a health pack or whatever, and do it again. Because the problem with running back to your team as ball is sometimes you have to do it. It happens, but you want to avoid it because usually you're going for backline, which means when you go all the way to your backline, it takes a long time to set up and then be able to do it again. Whereas if you go to their backline, reset, immediately go back again. I mean, we're shooting Ryan Shield as a wrecking ball. That should be a red flag that something's going on here. Good boop. Big value. Stop shooting Ryan, set up. Stop shooting Ryan. No. Yeah, see, you just roll through, right? Who, if you had answered... So now obviously, yes, you mechanically goofed it here. I get it. But if you had answered the who properly, then you would not have even tried to go for this engage. You would have thought, where's Symmetra? Where's Cassidy? Can I get to them from here? Maybe. But maybe it would be better to roll through, slam backline. You see that? If you can answer the who, you can answer the where. If you can answer the where, then all you need to worry about is when, and then you're good to go. You mess up your grapple because it's too far away, but ultimately you should not have been in that spot in front of Rhine Shield for that long anyway. And again here, big red clump, or big blue clump, I guess, you know. Good. Do it again. Where's my targets? There they are. There they are. Get them. Get them. Get them. Get them. Sick them. Sick them. Probably. That's unfortunate. I think this fight's lost, so just reset. Get out. Your team's lost. Your team's lost. Ah! Yeah, you see, this is a waste of time. Your team is dead. Your team is dead. You need to get out. Team is dead. Yeah, just essentially it's like, okay, yeah, you had a big anti-nade, but you should have just waited. Your Ana actually tries to go in to help you because she's the only one left alive. She and the Moira. Now we should have been going in. We need to pay a little bit more attention. He did force Moira ult. That's true. Is it not good to force out cooldowns like Val can fade? It is, yeah. But you can see through walls. You know where your team is positioned. You know you're down 2. Your supports are backing up and you're going in. You know? So we should be going out and setting up for next fight. Instead, we go in, we bait our supports. To give credit to our supports, they are trying to help follow up. They want to back up, but they're trying to help, right? But it's a mess. That's okay. So what you should do is between engages, after you've slammed in and gone, take a second to reevaluate your team is. Or right before you go in, try to reevaluate where your team is. Right? Before you go in, where is my team? Is now a good time. Because if you know who, you can know where, backline usually, and then you can answer where, you can know when. Because again, now it's like you're kind of like a bull waving a red flag. You just see a clump of enemies and you just go. And sometimes the clump is good. Like right now, you know, you hit Moira, you hit Symmetra. That seems pretty reasonable trade, right? Just because a Reinhardt's there doesn't mean it's bad, right? But did you even know that they were there? That's the question. Set up, look around. Where's my team? Look around. Take a second. Look around. Oh, crap. You see? If you take in a split second when you had downtime, not in the middle of a fight, but when you had downtime to look around, there it is. This is all the information that you need to know. Now is probably not a good time to go for backline just yet because we're still walking through choke. And, oh, mama. Hey, congrats, mate. Nice work. So what you're doing now is it's just not very good return on investment. It's not a very good time, and it's just not the best targets. This is your fault. This is your fault. And why it's your fault is because between when you had downtime, you didn't take the time to look around you to see whether your team was ready or where the enemy team was. Because the Cassidy Mercy are priority targets for you. That's the problem. You don't have to talk in game, you know. This is why, because even if you'd been able to talk in game, that wouldn't have changed this. You just needed to look around. Ball is strong right now. Ball, I think, is one of the stronger tanks in the game, at least in ranked. And then this is just another situation where, like, your team is dead. You just need to reset. You just need to try and get out, play your life, even if that means running back to spawn. Let's watch one more fight. This is going to be a big minds, I know it. Waiting for our team, that's good. See, you could use this time now to set up, you know, but don't engage. Set up, but don't engage. Who do I want to go for? Cassidy, Symmetra, Mercy? Set up, set up, set up, set up, set up. Nah, you like rolling through the middle of the enemy team, but even now, it's not the best. Would have been better if we'd been setting up behind and then looking for this exact same mines. The mines are very good, though. Ryan's dead. Where's that Symmetra? Good. That's fine. I think turrets are good to break. Nice. Okay, so really more of what we've already seen. I guess I'll throw in trigger discipline is there. In there as well, excuse me. Trigger discipline. Stopping mid-clip to realign crosshair. But mostly, take the time when you can between or pre-fight to check enemy and friendly team's position. I'm glad you're finding it helpful. Do you have any questions? I think your mechanics with ball, not too shabby. Not too shabby. The most important thing with ball is looking comfortable on the hero and like moving around, and I actually think that's probably one of your strengths for your rank. But I think the fundamentals of Overwatch as a whole are not your strength. And I think that's what needs to be better. You're a good ball player. You're just not a very good Overwatch player. Yeah. Yep. You see, the funny thing, Roland, is you demonstrated the same mistakes in your first game. But the difference between your first game is that you got fortunate, lucky enough to where your team happened to be there to help you follow up. When you make a mistake or you have a bad habit, you're not always going to get punished for it. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and you're going to have teammates that follow up and help. And sometimes that you're going to get unlucky and, you know, your teammates were not able to. It's not that you have bad teammates. They just were not in a position to accidentally help you. So you're rolling a dice, right? So what you want to do is you need, even when you win a game or when you do well, you should always be thinking, okay, what did I need to be doing better? When you lose a game, don't assume that, oh, my teammates are bad or I'm bad. It might have been that you played just as well as you did the previous game. It just so happened that the human element things happen. So the worst part of my second game was my lack of game awareness. I mean, honestly, that was the worst part of your first game as well. But the second game, you got punished for it more. The first game, you didn't. That's all there is to it. The second game, maybe the enemy team took fewer flanks. So then they didn't punish you as much as like that Cast Mercy did. I'm GM1 when I play ball without talking sometimes. You can understand the ball without comments or watching your team engaging when they want to. Comms aren't needed, especially in bronze. Well, there you go. Do you have any questions, Roland? If you can't think of anything crazy right now, don't worry about it. You can send me any questions you want at any time. I might not be able to answer right away. I generally get a lot of DMs every day, y'all. But I do, as of now, I still can answer them. So just won't answer them immediately. Chat, do you have any questions? So should I still have been going for backline? When do I go back to peel for my team? Very rarely. I would only go back to peel for my team if there's one member of the enemy team or two who are way overextended on my backline, and if they're really good targets for me to kill. If a Reinhardt goes onto my backline, I'm more thinking who's following up off of that Reinhardt pin. Because I can't really stop a Reinhardt from... I can shoot him a little bit, but I don't do a lot of damage to him. I maybe can boop him a little bit, but even then, the boop reduction for tanks is hard, right? So I'm thinking more about who's going to try to help the Reinhardt, and can I stop them from helping the Reinhardt? You kill his backline, he kills your backline. Which one of you is going to do it better? You know, that's kind of what you're thinking. You try to think, who are my best matchups? And usually they're squishies. I'm going to look at the patch notes in just about 10 minutes, y'all. What's the best way to handle a ball that harasses your team? What's the worst thing that can... honestly, trying to punish him when he messes up his timing. And then when he hits his timing really well, try to position in a way to where he can't kill you. And then you can ignore him and focus on the more valuable things. Like if I'm playing Widowmaker, I have to give respect to ball. But if I can play in a way to where I don't have to look at him when he's looking for me, so that I can focus on other targets, it's often better. But it's hard. Like if I'm able to pre-punish that ball as he's staging, that's really helpful. But then you see some of the best, Zenyatas, they get slammed by a ball, but there's something more important in front of them, and so they don't even look at the ball. They're like slammed, they're getting shot in the head, and they're just like Zen state, focus on like what's in front of me. But then obviously, it depends on the circumstance. You have to decide, is this ball setting up somebody else more dangerous to go aggressive? I need to give them more value. But if the ball's going in ahead of things, then you need to give respect to ball. Also depends on the hero. Like if I'm an Ana getting slammed by a ball, I'm going to sleep the ball, because I can easily give him attention and just remove him. Is this off topic, but I wish Life was already... Yeah. Okay. No other questions, Roland? I think there's no other questions. We're gonna get to the patch notes. Roland's typing, and then we will get patch notes react. I have to pee. I've been drinking a lot of water, so give me a second. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Let me know if you have any questions, mate. You can just shoot me a message anytime. All right, chat. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I will be right back. 30 seconds. Okay. We're ready to go. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I have been really negative recently about Lifeweaver, and I've tried to be as fair about it as I possibly can because I don't like being a negative Nancy. I think that a lot of the I think a lot of folks kind of like it's easy to be negative for views, you know, so a lot of people tend to lean into the negativity because it's funny and, you know, where I will send to you by tomorrow. Because, you know, oh, views, clicks, you know, negativity is funny. But I want you guys to know, like, and I'm being completely honest here, I don't like being negative for the sake of being negative. There's a lot of really great things that Blizzard has done and matchmaking, not matchmaking, and balancing and all these other things. And even heroes like Kiriko, Sojourn, Junker Queen have really been very fluid and fun to play, as broken as they have been. And I think some of my frustration with even like a hero like Kiriko has been more because there's been a lot of disappointment about what could have been, I think, is the thing. It's like I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed, or I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, because like Kiriko was such a fluid and fun hero design, and then the healing thing, and they just don't fix it, and then she's just broken, right? The hero itself was really, really fun. So there has been a lot of recent heroes recently that have been really fun, have been really fluid. That's why I was disappointed about Ramatra. You talk about Ramatra, he's one of the coolest hero designs in the game in terms of his character, voice acting, aesthetic. It's gorgeous, but he just doesn't click. And I know that's something that's more subjective, and so I'm willing to admit, I'm not willing to admit ignorance, but I'm willing to admit that it's not, you know, it's just my opinion. But I do think that you guys can kind of see what I'm saying, where a lot of his kit just doesn't feel very flowy or very satisfying. Shield isn't very satisfying cooldown, and it doesn't flow very well, right? It's not very satisfying. His E, same thing. The whole verticality pull just doesn't really work. It doesn't really go in execution. It just kind of flops, right? His gun, his mouse one in Nemesis or Omnic form is a lot less satisfying and less useful than I thought it would be. His punching is fairly useful, but then his ultimate and his block are just dull, just remarkably dull. And these are things that we predicted, right? These are things that we predicted. I guess I didn't predict the punching and the block, but the ultimate was not a surprise, right? The ultimate was like, we knew it was going to be bad, and it was just as bad as we thought it would be. He's still fun to play in some aspects, but he's just disappointing, because again, it's like he's okay, he's just not good. And I think when you set the bar as high as you did with Sojourn and with Kiriko, it feels like just a disappointment. And especially with Ramatra, who's such a cool hero, they just didn't drop the ball. And this is why I've been so frustrated about the Lifeweaver thing, is like, the hero aesthetic feels cool, the design, the whole character feels cool, and there are aspects of it that feel cool or look like they would be cool, but other aspects that are just honestly a big step back in hero design. Some of the things that Sojourn, Kiriko, and Junker Queen all had in common is that they all had not necessarily high skill, but there was a lot of like much more like they were tricky, right? They were tricky, right? They were strong, overtuned in some ways, but there was a lot of like ways to apply yourself. And right now with this hero, I'm concerned that that's going to be a lot that's going to be lost. The flower definitely looks interesting, probably the more interesting part of his kit. His mouse one has potential as well, but I'm not sure. So let's look at these patch notes. I have not seen these patch notes. I do not know what's going on here. Give me a second to like get this situated here. And I also want to like, I realized that when I was doing the thing the other day, it's like my face cam is probably a little too small. I mean, you can never have too much Spilo schnoz, right? Okay, let's move it to over here. And I think also chat cover. I think there you go. Yeah, there you go. There. All right, so chat, really quick before I look, should I look at the patch notes? Or I also saw there was in competitive Overwatch, somebody linked a CarQ video. Which one should I do? Does a CarQ video literally have everything? Or is there like some stuff in here that I should be looking at as well? What do you guys think? I'm excited. Which one would be more informative? Patch notes first, then CarQ? Okay, patch notes first. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so next week, right? April 11th, yep. Life Weaver. I mean, nothing new here, right? Just kind of bleh. Regrouping with the team after getting stranded in a spawn room has never been easier. Spawn rooms that shut down due to capturing and losing a juggle now remain partially active for 7 seconds. Well, you still can't change heroes in the spawn. These strands remain locked in the losing team. This is definitely interesting. Like since like a quality of life change. I will have to look at to see how this applies in execution, but I think the idea is cool. That's good. I mean, I appreciate it. Match backfilling players in unranked modes, not prior to fighting players closer to the skill of the other players in the match. Okay. Top 500 players will be required to win 25 competitive matches per top 500. We only require 20 to be completed regardless of winning part of this change, but make sure that players are consistently pushing towards winning matches. Okay. Matches left to different competitors are still considered, but for during also was full of severity. Okay. I mean, the points just don't matter because the rewards just don't really matter that much. Ending in this rank. Okay. Oh, this is cool, right? The initial loading screen that shows all the participants. I remember they talked about this in the dev chat, right? This is cool. Nice. Love to see it. Players' competitive rank play will now be reduced at the beginning of the season. Will no longer be reduced. The effects of this reduction of rank of previous seasons will also be removed depending on how many games they played during the previous season. Many players will see skill tier and division increase. A player's skill tier and division was match estimate. The previous season rank was causing considerable confusion for players who would see players and skills but a similar rank. Okay, makes sense. Will now include information about players' losses and ties as well as their wins. Okay, lots of little quality of life stuff. Love to see it. The spawn thing is one of the single best changes they've ever made, in my opinion. It definitely has. It's going to have an impact on play. I'm curious about that. Reinhardt, base health reduced. I actually think this is fair. I know this is going to be a little bit of a hot take, but Reinhardt is really, really strong right now. It doesn't help the fact that most people are still kind of morons when it comes to actually playing Reinhardt, possibly. But I think he's really strong right now, and I like what they actually targeted as well. See, they have a bad track of like reading the room with a hero strong, and nerfing the wrong thing. I think this is the right thing to nerf, right? You remove 50 armor, you give him 25 health. Maybe that's a little too harsh. Maybe just removing 25 armor would be enough. So maybe this is a little harsh, but I think this is okay. It's okay. I think we're okay. I think the thing is that Ryan was too tanky. And I think that this is a fair change. Maybe a little too heavy-handed, but it's the right thing to change. It's not adjusting his fire strike or his pen or his shield or his movement. It's the right change. Okay. Sigma, accretion, impact damage reduced from 60 to 40. Knockdown duration. I don't like this. I feel like if you hit the rock, you deserve the kill. But I mean, I guess they're trying to move away from one shots. I don't know. It definitely feels like they're trying to move away from one shots. Like they specifically gave the rock more damage, I think, to allow for the one shot. But now they're taking it away because I guess the idea is that they just don't want one shots as much. Which, you know what, I'm okay with it. The stun duration is like, but I guess I don't know. Let's put it this way: I don't want to be negative about this one because I actually think this one has logic behind it. Where they're buffing stuns again, but they're doing it to try and compensate for the fact that they've removed the one shot away. It's a minor change. It's a minor change. I think you guys are probably overreacting to this. I think you guys are overreacting to this, to be honest with you guys. I play a lot of Sigma. He's probably my favorite or second favorite tank in the game. But I don't think this is that big of a deal. It's definitely okay. If that's not true, it is a big deal, but it's a fair change, I guess. Yeah, it remains to be seen. I don't think I have a firm enough opinion to really like slam down here. Cassie, base health reduced from 225 to 200. Yeah, see, this is interesting to me. They just need to find out what Cassie's identity is. Because I think here's where they've messed up. Okay, this is where they've messed up. Cassidy used to be mid-range. Then they said, oh no, we actually want Cassidy to be anti-dive, which is when they gave him like 225 HP or 250 or whatever they did with him. They buffed this fan because they're like, oh, we want him to be an anti-dive hero. But then they like messed with his fall off range, and they also they removed flash. But now it's weird. So like, I think here's what this is. This is trying to get this hero to be mid-range. An actual mid-range hit scan. You guys are probably like, I hate Cassidy so much in his current state. Well, that's because he's actually mid-range now, whereas before he was really honestly close range hero. Now he's actually mid-range, and for that compensation, he doesn't need the 25 HP anymore. I don't hate this. Whether this is going to be balanced or not, I'm not sure. Is he going to be trashed here now? I can tell you right now that with this change, you're not likely to be able to see as much Cassidy in the comps that he was played in Overwatch League. So you saw Cassidy like playing like in these quasi dive comps. That will be gone. I promise you. Almost certainly be gone, because that 25 HP mattered a lot when you're playing for the dive survivability. However, this is going to be something that allows him to kind of fill that mid-range role here. This is good as well, if only for a short-term fix. The old concept of magnetic grenade as a whole is a stupid ability and is poorly done. So if this is a short-term fix, I'm down for it. Magnetic grenade only required one additional primary fire to repair, which in those works. We reduce the total damage of magnetic grenade. The reduced fall-off damage buff his primary fire. Okay, yeah. So nothing surprising there. At least he has an identity now. Whether that identity is going to work out super well, I'm okay. Like, none of these changes are too bad. I'm questioning what the deal is with you guys. EMP can now disable Blizzard. Consistency. I mean, I guess. It's just like, all right. It's the same thing with like the Orisa ultimate. It's like, okay. I don't know. Support. Honestly, the maximum duration on take care is reduced 30% from 5 to 3.5 seconds. Okay. But it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this very much. I think, like, yes, it's easy to hit it on tanks, but that's also like her identity. It's a really, really long cooldown. And then a lot of the braining around like D.Va and Winston and Reinhardt and Sigma and even Ramatra is like that you have to respect the sleep dart, right? I don't know. It seems like such a harsh thing. Maybe we don't. Okay. This is what scares me. This is what... no. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this one. I'm willing to reserve judgment on it along with the others, but I'm not... Whoops, I scrolled too far. I'm not as much of a fan. Yeah. Not sure. Okay. Brigitte, rally. Rally now gains 100 restorable armor health pool for the duration of rally. So she gets a lot tankier. Love you too.
What do you want for dinner?
I don't know. Honestly, whatever. Thank you. Drive safe, please. I don't know. That's maybe. I don't know. 300. Is that it? Is it 300 HP? I don't know. I don't know if we want that again. I don't know if you want that again. Like giving Brig some form of like extra survivability, maybe. Instant 100 armor upon activation. Ooh. Is it restorable as well? So we're basically back to where Brig is unkillable with rally again. No. You see, the problem with rally is that we had an ultimate. Now maybe they're thinking, let's make Brig be able to play hyper aggressive selfishly with rally. Brigette no longer builds temporary health like your nearby allies. Okay. Rally now upgrades her barrier shield, increasing both its size and health. What? Was that what I saw? I thought that was a troll. I thought Spilo was trolling. So I started stream and I'm like looking at Twitter. I thought it was a troll. What? Why? Why would you want that? Like the 100 restorable armor maybe, but increasing its size and health. So the size thing is not like that important, I guess. It's just goofy looking, but the health is a little bit of a concern. Because like, I don't know, like we're trying to have Brig be able to play hyper aggressive, I guess, personally. But I don't know. This is barrier health increase from 3. What? And you could drop it and replace it? During rally, shield bash now impacts multiple enemy and briefly stuns them? What? No, see, then this is wrong. This is wrong. No, this is the wrong direction. Look, I get the idea here, okay? The idea is that you're trying to give Rally some more self-sufficiency that so she can go out and make plays, control space, duel people easier with Rally. I get it. It's more interesting. And before with old Rally, she just wasn't quite tanky enough, even with the Rally, because it was temporary HP. I don't know if 100 restorable armor and a Tonka Trunk shield is the way to go. And I really don't know if stunning multiple enemies is the right way to go either, respectfully. But you reduce the movement speed? That's the entire thing that enables her to do it in the first place. You need the movement speed to actually be able to pursue. I know you have the offensive shield bash, but the movement speed was what allowed her to actually do that. I don't like this. I think this removes dynamic out of it. I don't like this. I don't like this. I mean, all this time that we've been working on Rally, and it just, I don't know. Maybe I'll reserve judgment, guys. I don't know. Repair pack range reduced? No! I mean, no, I don't think that's good. I mean, rather than some of the chain we're getting as additional artillery, it's reason to keep it as a defensive ultimate ability. But it's not going to do that. It's not going to do that. For the Brig, I mean, maybe for the Brig. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I see what they're going with it, but I think that the offensive defensive, like, it doesn't have to be another transcendence, or I don't know. I don't like it. It's just, again, guys, am I the only one who feels like these changes are just really bizarre? It's just bizarre. It feels like, again, I really sometimes feels like I'm dreaming sometimes when I'm reading patch notes. Rally was fine as is. No, I don't know that it was. Like, it was very boring to use, you know? Like this is why my criticism for Lifeweaver. So this is definitely more interesting. I'll give them credit for that. But man, all right. Kadea staff healing increased. What? Healing is no longer increased for allies under health. Oh, okay, I mean, well, wait, what? They just straight up reverted it. Part reverse, Terry. Okay. Jump and crouch cancel activate ability state duration increase. Wait. Jump and crouch cancel activate ability state duration increased. Oh, this was like the GA thing. This was like a super niche thing, if I remember correctly, where you technically get GA back sooner. The recent increase to Guardian Angel's jump cancel mobility still needs to be kept in check, and some people, while the last revision had some mentioning effects, not being ready to use GA for flying using Resurrect. This revision provides more flexibility and allows Mercy to opt in additional 1 point per second for using increased mobility from the increased healing multiplier condition on Caduceus with Caduceus status, and it would give from my agency trying to save critical health. However, the overall balance of the healing values receiving negative feedback from both of us for playing with those playing in there. No comment on the GA at all? No comment on the GA at all. Right. This nerfs her GA? Really? No comment on the GA. Right. Interesting. Whoa. 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 All right. I mean, all right. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. I like this. This gives Moira more of identity. You know, like, it gives her something more to do. Like, rewards you for doing things. And honestly, I freaking hate Moira, but it does give her like a little bit more nuance. So like offers up more playmaking ability. I don't hate it. I don't like Moira. I don't like giving Moira treats, you know, but okay. I don't know, guys. I feel like with these patch notes, I'm just like, I don't know, like, some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are just like, I really don't. A lot of them feel like weird. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do agree that the support changes in general seem super strange. The Mercy just reverting everything, okay. I mean, that seems reasonable enough, but this is questionable. This is really, really questionable. I don't know. I just don't know. The Ash nerf. What? Oh, you're baiting me. I don't see it. No way, am I just blind? Oh. Wait, what? What? I thought that this was am I being gaslit? Are they gaslighting me? They're gaslighting me. I swear that was intentional. Am I misremembering? Ash isn't even that good. I swear, some Blizzard intern back there's like, well, actually, wait, here you go. Well, actually, the win rate of Ash is 51.6%. So clearly, we need to do a nerf, you know, of the hero, because like the percentage of the statistic of the win rate is the 48.6%. If you look at the win rate of the hero, the statistics, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Nah. Okay. I mean, I guess we could skim through the car queue video. I feel like we probably have a pretty good idea. I want to see this brig thing though.
Oh.
No!
This is the brig rework.
Oh, what is that?
This is the brig
What is
rework.
it? Oh!
What is this, 2018? Welcome to season 4. Here we go.
Okay, here's the thing. Is this going to be that broken? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay? Look at it! Look at it! Look at how freaking ugly that thing is! Look at it! You've got to be kidding me! It's so ugly! What is going on?
Oh. This is the brig rework. Oh my, what is this, 2018? Welcome to season 4.
It just feels like a bait. Like
Let's begin
it
with Reinhardt. His HP is decreased from 625 to 600. More specific.
All right, Reinhardt we've seen, Ash nerf, Cassidy nerf, Sombra buff, Ana nerf. Okay, I want to see this.
You can see I'm standing around the same distance, but I can't pack the training bot from here. Now onto Rally, her ultimate. And this is what it looked like before. You know what? You love it. But this is what the reworked Rally looks like. Yeah. First of all, that shield fattens up and goes from 300 to 750 HP. She now gains 100 restorable armor health pool for the duration of Rally, which means if you get shot and you get healed, you have like 300 base HP now, with 100 extra armor. That does mean she no longer gradually builds that green temporary health like her allies, which, by the way, it still works for the allies, it's just herself that gets that 100 armor instantly. The biggest change is that shield bash with that ginormous Giga Shield can impact multiple
Makes
enemies
sense.
now, and it briefly stuns them.
Whiskey.
It's like we're back in 2018 from OG Brig. This is insane because you can now stun Ryan through his shield and set up like a Bash Shatter, or you can stun Diva's Bomb, for example, to stop it at its
But I thought they made it so you couldn't bash through shields. Surely that will be fixed.
tracks. This is crazy. The only slight nerf is that her bonus movement speed she gets while in Rally is being reduced from 30 to 15%, but overall this is still a ginormous net buff. The developer comments that Rally lost some of its power with the change from granting allies
I don't know, man. I still feel like I'm tripping.
healing per second is going to be increased from 45 to 55. That's nice. However, the healing is no longer increased for allies under half health. For Guardian Angel, the cooldown is being reduced from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds. That's really good. That's the old Mercy. The jump and crouch cancel active ability state duration is being increased from 1 to 1.5 seconds. Sounds like a mouthful, but it's a nerf to both the jump, which is a slingshot, and the crouch state, which is a super jump, which basically means it won't go on cooldown until after that 1.5 second timer, and you can no longer manually interrupt it to begin the cooldown early. And a small buff to her ult. The support role passive healing is now active for the duration of Valkyrie. The devs have a lot of comments here. The recent increase to Guardian Angel's jump cancel to play your GA with you. That's a buff. Her Fade can actually now be activated during Coalescence. That's a significant buff. To compensate though, Coalescence bonus movement speed is being reduced from 50 to 40%, but honestly, you don't really notice it. Devs comment that being able to use Faye during her Coalescence ultimate gives Moira more playmaking ability by being able to reposition even more quickly and avoid potential.
What is
quick
this?
reactions.
Workshop mode.
Due
This
to the
looks
more
like
spread out
Halo.
playstyle of
This is
5v5,
cool.
we're increasing the lingering heal duration from her primary fire, meaning it will heal more in total. Be careful of these TikTok Moiras is all I gotta say. She's actually pretty solid. And that's it for the balance changes. Lifeweaver is also a new support hero being added to the...
Yeah. I don't know, y'all. Weird. I know I'm not being as negative as some of you guys thought I would be, but it's weird. It's weird. New community made map. Can you even make maps in stream? Oh. It's bizarre. It's just really strange. It's just... Yeah. Yeah, I'll drop the patch notes. You guys could just look. I just got off of competitive Overwatch. That's yeah, that's something here. Let me see here. Where's the stupid patch notes here? I mean, I wouldn't say we're screwed, but outside of Lifeweaver looking really boring, but we'll have to see. All right, here's what we got, chat. So here's the deal. You guys are in chat are in for a little bit of a fun surprise because I finished the final master. My brother finished the final master for the Overwatch 2 diss track. You guys remember the charity that we did for the Children's Hospital? We finished the final master. And not only that, but as of today, we finished filming the footage for the video. So get your headphones on, and this is not even the first draft. There's still a lot of work that needs to go into the video. You guys are going to get a sneak peek of the Overwatch 2 diss track and the video that may or may not be accompanying it. I hope you guys are ready. Because to say this will be the greatest hip-hop moment in the history of hip-hop is one of the most understatements of all time. Let's put it that way. So I hope you guys are ready. It's in Vegas. We haven't even got a render yet, but you guys can enjoy what we've got so far. All right? You guys ready? Hold on to your butt cheeks. And this will be live on YouTube when it's finished. Hey guys, it's your boy Spilo. I am indeed the greatest rapper of all time. And this is the greatest rap of all time. Let me know what you think in the comments, although I really don't care, and enjoy.
Roadhog mains, man, they all insane. No aim, no brain, yeah, you're all the same. Speaking the brainless, if you know what I'm saying. You know the Bastion folks, they never stop playing around on my team. Don't do nothing but feed. Don't you ever ask for nothing, cause you're nothing to me. I thought bots like Bastion were supposed to be smart. So how come every time I look I see you stuck in the car? Well, you may be dumb, but at least you're not evil. Like some crackhead witch with orbs too lethal. Every time she make a poor flanker split, all your Moira remains, yeah, you ain't it. Big in the trash, yeah, matter of fact. Man, the worst type of people, they always play rap. And they junk in their play, and they junk inside. You'll need to touch some grass, dudes, man, go outside.
Mercy players, oh gosh. Big mouth hog wash.
If whining was a game, they'd win every contest. That sweet supports superiority complex. And I see you, Ryan, standing way in the back. Chuckling to yourself and whispering facts. Yeah, you think you're great, yeah, you think you're swag, but everybody knows you're just a 10 IQ punching bag. And nobody's safe today, smiling out to play. Some are just gonna hack away, so spit through when Jack and almost as bad as back in the back, just keep missing. Crap from the widow means go away, you make my start, okay?
Oh dear.
I got a mate on me, I'm begging you to swap, please, please.
No fear.
Yeah, life's a breeze when you cannot freeze. Shut up, Winston. Smart ain't from Princeton, but the only thing I wanna see is the cage it fits in. Oh, so wise, what a great logician. All that brain gag, but you're still in position. Now some of y'all may be thinking that you're winning, cause I haven't brought your hero up while I'm spitting. Some of y'all's heroes just aren't with shucks, because Reaper, Orisa, Doofus, suck. Another follower one trick on my team, well that's just great, please pardon the scream. No, 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 on the Asheville sniper, trash and Bridget, cast a lover that the Gidgy love. Just name from me a diva to your filthy whips. You junker queen, you think you're tough, your head is empty. The muscles fuck the Sigma fans, you think you're nuts, but your big men's a geezer klutz. Kiriko with a delightful quirk. Your entire personality is that you're a jerk. Hanzo would like to have a word with you if he could form a sentence beyond If you think it's smooth, then you're wrong. A gaze upon a waist of trans baggy pants, super bot don't got a chance. So weak, a single peak brings on doom. Find your inner peace in the spawn room. Lucy, oh, blows. Only thing you know is losing, oh no. And how could we forget your
So you've got there's obviously a lot of work to be done, you know, to make that into the masterpiece that it's going to be. But yeah, there's your sneak peek. We had so much fun doing that, man. It was so much fun. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. And then in terms of the karaoke and the cosplay, hopefully by this weekend. I've been super busy, and I've also been sick, so I haven't been able to catch up on everything. But hopefully we should get a cosplay voting thing set up by this weekend or by next week. And then the karaoke, we should be trying to start record it by the next week or something like that. But yeah, I literally was like, Pepper, Will, I was like, we'll talk about it. I was like, what are like the widest outfits I could wear? I even had like the pin, and it was wearing socks with sandals, man. We went as hard as we could. But yeah, we don't know who I'm cosplaying as yet, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I'm gonna add lyrics to the bottom, and thus the black bar at the bottom, because we're gonna have lyrics in the bottom. But yeah, we had so much fun, mate. It's the worst rap of all time, but it was so much fun. What do you think about the brig old changes? Because I'm mad. I mean, I don't know, mate. Honestly, it is bizarre. Is it bad? Is it good? I think it's probably bad, but it is freaking weird. Ball did get brought up. Every hero gets flamed in that rap. You'll have to wait for the lyrics to catch all the super hot fire lyrics that you guys might have sent. It's like Sharknado so bad it's good. that was the intention anyway. But yeah, okay. Let's do some Ask Spilo. Let's do some Ask Spilo, y'all. So if you guys don't know, !Ask Spilo or !Ask Spilo Discord. In the Discord, you will find the channel Ask Spilo near the top under Spilo stuff. In addition, there's free coaching stuff, lots of free juicy, succulent resources in here. But then obviously, about once a week, we go over Ask Spilo and I answer a lot of questions. And we didn't even get to finish all the questions last week because I was MIA for like 3 weeks with other stuff. I haven't had time, so I'm still playing catch up. But yeah, okay, let's do some Ask Spilo. What do you think of Widow Hanzo Ayana blah? Keep sick alive. Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, the healing output is not the problem. The problem with Mercy is always like transitioning back and forth from sniper to sniper to sniper to sniper, and then also obviously potentially losing to a tracer sniper comp. But it's fine. It's doable. How did you get started in teaching? I thought about starting tuning my life and knowledge on how to teach. Do you have any useful tips on teaching? I got fortunate. So my dad was a teacher, so I grew up with him. Teaching, and I was homeschooled, so I actually went with him to a lot of the tutoring and teaching that he did, and I would do my own schoolwork. But then I'd also I basically grew up listening to my dad teach for years, and so I learned a lot from my dad. And then I went from there and I started tutoring mathematics when I was like 13, 14, and then I went from there. And I won't bore you all with the story, but basically, how do you get started teaching? Is you just need to start. You just need to start. You're going to be an idiot. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to communicate well, but it just comes with practice, you know? So it's like when I first started coaching Overwatch, I wasn't very good, but you just have to start. What difference the problems with Doom Block and Sigma Slurp? I think Sigma Slurp is I think I understand your question is more useful regardless of whether people shoot it or not, right? The problem with Doom Block is that it loses a lot of value if people don't shoot your punch, right? I've never been a power block enjoyer. I think the concept of basically the enemy team has to make a mistake for you to actually get access a very important part of your kit, I think is kind of a goof. And then people make that mistake all the time, but I think just the concept, it bothers me. And also the slow movement, Ryan. Yeah, exactly. Why you stream it at time? Oh, yeah. It's just, honestly, okay, it's just like I started streaming at this time because I was an MMA coach and I taught evenings and afternoons. So I would coach at like 3, so I would have to leave my house at like 3, my time. And so I had to stream earlier, and so that just kind of stuck from there. I feel like I have a pretty big European audience in comparison to a lot of other streamers, even though I'm American myself. So it just kind of stuck. I mean, will it change in the future? Potentially, but I also don't like staying up late. So, but like around like 7, 8, I'm ready to do my own thing. You know, I don't want to, I mean, it depends though. What is the concept of marking? Is it only a tracer thing? I wonder if marking is essentially saying this is a lane or a flank, and I'm going to try and make sure that you can't use that lane or flank. So if I'm playing like tracer, marking is where I take this flank, but I'm not intending to use it to go to your backline. I'm actually just taking it to make sure that you can't use it. Now that's a very blurry line. Sometimes it's better to take a flank, and then if it's used, mark it. If it's not used, then use it to go for backline, right? But like, let's say if you're playing with a Zenyatta or on a comp, I might try to prioritize a lane I think the enemy team will take because my backline is very fragile. So I want to try and mark them by preventing them from doing what they want to do. Marking is essentially just, I take an angle or a flank and I'm trying to stop you from using it. Marking could be a Sigma controlling an angle or flank. Marking could be a Zenyatta, instead of prioritizing and just shooting it on main, shooting an angle, trying to prevent anybody from using that or predicting that. Marking is just the concept of taking an angle or flank and preventing somebody from trying to use it, or trying to prevent them from somebody from using it. Spilo, you seem to be Crow. Why never act like Crow? Cracks. What? Am I missing something? What does cracks mean though? Stormcrow is an old Lego. I used to, so when I was a big Lego kid, I was super into Legos. I was really good at Legos and Bionicles as a kid. Like literally I started doing stuff like that when I was like 2 or 3 years old. Like I was obsessed. And so one of my first things that I ever named is, I named one of my big Lego set guys that I would always play with, like my superhero guy that I'd play with, Storm. And my whole like username when I went on Lego.com was Storm, you know, Storm. And then I remember reading Lord of the Rings when I was a teenager, and I loved Lord of the Rings, and Gandalf was my favorite, so Storm Crow. I played Lord of the Rings online. I was a very good PvPer. And so I had Stormcrow Productions came from that, and the combination. So it's Lego, Bionicle, Lord of the Rings, a lot of nerd stuff. Cracks? Oh, fair enough. All right. Well, I guess that one is answered. I saw Super play a lot of things during the Overwatch World Cup tryouts. Who said you have to have a small hero pool, but how do I be confident in a wide pool like at the same time?
It's been like 2 years.
I mean, it just takes more time to play. Hey, thanks for the sub, mate. Dude, bro, I appreciate you. How you been? Good to see you, Lux. Good PvPer, Cap? Yeah, shut your mouth. I was the best. I was the best in the entire world. I'm the best of all time at one of the classes. Anyone who says otherwise is an idiot. You said to have a small hero pool, but how to be competent on a wide pool like at the same time? I mean, you can't. Like, that's the thing, is you can't. Like, Super is pretty good at all the heroes because he's had a lot of time grinding all the different heroes with like specific goals. He's been in the league. He has a really good mentality. But Super also is not the best D.Va, and Super is like not the best Sigma. And like he performs well enough at those heroes, but it takes a lot of play time and a lot of time to grind out those heroes. Your scrim team wants me to play more than Ryan D.Va. I don't know how to juggle the tanks. Well, you have to do it one at a time. You know, if your team wants you to play like 5 different tanks, you need to talk to the scrim team and say, screw off, right? If your team wants to play 3 tanks, you know, okay, that's probably doable. You might need to increase your play time. You need to make sure that you have specific goals. Like you could have somebody that one tricks a hero for a year and somebody that 3 tricks a hero for a year and gets better than the guy 1 tricking. And it comes to mentality, right? And how they're playing it and how they're practicing it, right? But yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, it's like, this isn't the only thing to get good at a hero is to have a small hero pool, but it is one of the more important things. And even like Overwatch League players have specializations. Dante, Kaluj, Super all have specializations. If a team wants to expand that hero pool, that's fine, but you just know that there's going to be a compensation somewhere else. Adding on to this, is it reasonable to have a tank to practice for each day? I wouldn't recommend it, just because that would probably mean too many days between training time. I wouldn't recommend it. Why do you think Ram has become popular in rush comps? Most teams just don't have, at least at the pro level, teams just don't have Rhine. They just don't have a good Rhine player. That's it. I mean, it's really that simple. You're talking about these Korean teams, they don't have a Rhine player. They haven't played Rhine. Ram was meta for a while prior to the league as well. So when you were playing ranked, teams were playing Ram, not Rhine. Rhine has only recently been like a common pick, and Korean players don't play Rhine. So it's that simple. And it just snowballs from there. You're playing Hottie, you can play Rhine. Now, you could also argue that maybe Ram is still better in the Rushmere. I'm not convinced, but there is a chance that that's the case. He's not trash. How do you deal with people flaming you? Like, I just had this frustration of negative feeling in my chest. It makes me feel like I just want to play the game with a team job. I'm not drunk. Then do that. Then do that. It's not worth it. I remember I saw some meme the other day of like some guy with his tombstone, and on the tombstone it says he really did a good job of spending all his hours arguing with people over the internet. Right? Same kind of idea. Live your life, mate. You know? It's just not worth it. People are going to always be turds. So if you're struggling to deal with that or cope with that, then just don't deal with it. Just turn it off. Play the game. How do you survive Bastional and the non-movement heroes like Ana? Usually it involves moving and then like quickly 180ing. It's hard though. Ana to double sniper, you need to take off angles where they can't see. Like Ana, I don't know if you watch like the I think it was the Spark versus Soul, but I forget, was it the Spark playing Ana or was it Soul playing Ana? But basically it was like Ana played like really short, tight sightlines, like honestly not like a sniper at all. Like super, not front line, but like even if she was on a flank, she was like close tight, because it is hard. Ana's not a great double sniper hero for that very reason. Any tips for playing a Sombra as ball and dive versus dive? Find her and just make her life miserable. Never ever be surprised by Sombra. Always be aware of where she is. Ball has a lot more movement flexibility than Sombra even does. I remember playing versus, I guess, Chasm now in a contenders match when we were playing Sombra comp, and he just perma-hunted Translocator. It was really hard. And then if you end up sitting inside of your backlight, it gives basically Ball the entire map to like set up his angles and his engages. Who do you think is the best pro Genji in the league on recent memory? Guys, name some names in chat. Who are the best Genjis that come to your mind? I have a hard time answering these questions, but maybe if you guys say some names in chat, I might be able to remember a few and give my opinions. I think it's hard to know who would be the GOAT. Stalker, you guys are hilarious. Necros, Shatter, not Necros or Shatter. Necros is pretty good. I think Necros is probably the better one because Necros has performed okay in contenders. Libero, no, I don't think it would be Libero and Genji. Spinine, is that Sparkle? Yeah, Sparkle is a good argument for being the best. I think Sparkle is probably top 3. Maybe Hacksaw, Sparkle, Alpha Yi. I don't think Alfie has played it enough to know, but I do remember his Genji was really good. Yeah, maybe Hacksaw, Sparkle. Proper had his moments. Proper was good as well. Alpha Yi was good as well. I think peak Shadowburn's agilities were also quite good. Yeah. Who Are You? Yeah, Who Are You was good too. Yeah, see, this is why it's like almost impossible for me to know. I didn't work or play against those guys long enough to tell you. But yeah. One of those guys. Kevster? No, not Kevster. I don't think Leave either. Maybe Jinmu? Maybe. Kevster is a good Genji, like a really good Genji, but yeah. What do you do when there's just a big skill back in comp games? I was Platinum Overwatch 1, but Master's now in Overwatch 2, but when I go against Overwatch 1 Master Plays, it's just blatantly obvious that I'm not as good. because everybody's gotten better, and the player base has gotten polluted with a lot of lower ranked players that aren't as good, so everyone's received some form of like boost. It doesn't matter. Like there's just more bronze, silver, and gold equivalent players in Overwatch 2 because so many of these new players didn't have the experience that you had. So comparatively, you're a better player to that percentage of the player base, and you might have also gotten better, and you just don't even realize it. So that's just how it is. EQO was pretty good. Wait, isn't Backbone good at Kevster? What? I've been playing since season 2 of Overwatch 1 as a DPS player. I feel like I'm too flexible. Jillian is not an issue. Should I pick a few? I think picking up a few heroes to focus on for specific improvement is better. I mean, it depends. If you enjoy what you're doing right now and you're just like enjoying it, then you don't need to worry about it. But for improvement, yes. EQO Blade and Rialto is one of the best plays of all time. Yeah, it was a good play. It was a good play. I don't think EQ would be the best Genji by a long shot, though. Any Zen tips for climbing from bronze solo queue? Look at your play time. Make sure that you're playing consistently about the same time every day. Around an hour and a half is a good like low hanging fruit. Making sure that you're having a specific hero pool of a couple of heroes, like at most like 2 heroes, 3 heroes that you're trying to practice on. Give yourself specific goals to practice at. Don't get tilted. Ignore team chat. Leave team voice if things get tough. Just focus on your play and just chill, relax. Treat ranked like practice time, and that's it. Outside of that, just consistency, and it comes with time. Easier said than done, but those are some of the big, really basic ones. As someone who's newest to coaching, how would you recommend practicing macro coaching to get the level of analysis you're currently at? Honestly, a lot of trial. Well, hang on. Well, I find the most pressing in game teams is there's so many individual mistakes the team fighting almost never. There's a problem with the communication team working for a while. Please review. How, when there are so many individual play modes, do I attempt to coach team on a macro level when team plays? I must see what. I mean, yeah. So like, if you're coaching like a diamond team, there are going to be a lot of individual mistakes, but you need to kind of teach. You could even teach micro from the perspective of macro. Like if you say, guys, this is what an engage should look like, everybody should try to have their cooldowns. Everybody should try to be in position. And then if you see people using a cooldowns before the engage happens, then that's a micro problem in relation to the macro. So for you, it's like when you're coaching something, be like, guys, this is what we want an engage to look like. Everybody going in at the same time from an angle or from high ground or setting up or whatever. And if they're not doing that, it's related to what we were trying to accomplish as a team. Thus, this is a micro error. Like you guys notice that a lot of my micro coaching usually revolves around, were you doing things at the right time as your team? Like this May wall, your team wasn't there to follow up, or you're burning shield before the fight starts. It's a lot of timing, right? It's a lot of playing around the big picture macro. So for you, it's like when you're coaching a composition or a team, are they all synchronizing their pressure? Or is there a game plan within Ultimate? And if you're able to answer yes to those, then look at how the micro is translated within that. You're having a hard time practicing macro coaching because you're focusing it on the roots, and you're focusing on the leaves when you should be focusing on the roots that leads to the leaves. If a player is wasting their deflect before a team fight starts, it's not an individual error necessarily. It might be that the team isn't very clear about when the fight is actually starting. And if the team is very clear about when the fight is starting, then that player needs to be slapped around the face. Psh, psh, psh. Hey, you idiot. The team fight hasn't started yet. Stop using cooldowns. Take an angle. Do not get your cooldowns forced. Yeah. What's the difference between micro and macro? Micro is just cooldown stuff. Macro is like big picture strategy stuff. There doesn't need to be a very specific definition outside of micro, small, macro, big. That's pretty much it. And where the line is drawn depends. It doesn't matter that much. How do I stop excessive amount of hair loss from tape? Scotch tape. I'm struggling to figure out how to shoulder peak with Zen because of the fire rate. I feel like I have to sit still in order to just expose half my body with sling. So also let's do around. Shoulder peak with Zen. What is shoulder peeking, guys? I feel like an idiot. I mean, yeah. I mean, Zen's kind of fat, so it's hard. Charge your right click behind the corner and peek it here. I'm not sure I fully understand this question. Beta shot by not fully peeking. Yeah, you could do that, I guess. I'm not sure. The only thing I could say is like maybe beta shot by jiggle peeking it, but I'm not sure I fully understand the question. Main macro difference between masters and GM, there is none. Honestly, guys, every time I get a question like this, the answer is always the same. There isn't one. Everything and nothing. I don't know. Depends on the team. Depends on the players. Why do you have an 8-second interval on replay viewer? Just random. Just because 10 seconds generally was too long, and then 5 seconds felt too short. So 8 seconds is just the sweet spot. It doesn't really matter. That's just what I like. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna stop there. We're getting closer and closer. We're catching up. We've almost fully caught up. So if you asked a question today, I apologize. I am gonna call Ask Spilo there. Yeah, beta widow shot. I guess I think that's what they were referring to. I feel bad because I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. All right, chat. I'm gonna head out. A little bit of a shorter stream today. We'll be back on Saturday. Loves and kisses, smooches, so to speak. Exclamation mark coaching, exclamation mark Discord. Good to see everybody. Enjoy the patch notes. Let's pray that this this coming Tuesday is okay. Stay tuned for the rap video. We'll be working on that, and I hope I will be better by this Saturday. Let's hop into raid. Let's raid Bread OW. Always try to prioritize folks in my Discord. This person is in my Discord, and they are streaming. So let's hop in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.